Yeah, we're playing 428 Shibuya Scramble. I know very little about this game. I know it's a visual novel. I know it's like mostly like filmed in live action and stuff, which I think is pretty neat. And I've seen this game. Not really seen this game. I've heard of this game before. And I read the reviews, so a lot of people like recommended it if you like Danganronpa or Zero Escape, so I'm up for this. I'm totally up for this, so see we'll see how this goes. I have no idea what to expect from here. Do you want the guide to gameplay to be displayed? We recommend that first-time players select yes. Yes, please. Teach me how to play the game. Work of fiction. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is actually supposed to be in Shibuya though, so Like finish off. Also let me know how the game volume is. Ooh. I really like this opening theme though. I've heard this theme in like the trailers and stuff. It is very like old school detective movie-esque theme. What if Project Connect had live action cutscenes? That'd take too much time. That'd take too much time, too much money, too many resources. Oh, there should be a crossing. Just buy a couple of wigs and you're good. Maybe. I think I've been to like Shibuya once as a child, but I don't remember it too well. World doesn't change so easy. Oh, it has vocals. I hope it's not gonna get me like DMCA8 or anything. When's Japan? A blimp? I thought it was gonna be like a... I thought it was gonna be like hot air balloon. Uh-oh. Okay. I've been deceived? I don't like looking at eyes. Alpha? Hi! Hi! What up? Get me out of here, girl. Call the police, please. Is this gonna give me DMCA8? I really hope not. Okay. Oh? Oh shit, car bomb? Jiro Ishii, okay. Shibuya's story is yours to tell, okay. I did look up, like, There's a website to see like how long it takes people to like finish games and stuff. And it said because there can be like there's like 85 endings to this game because it is a visual novel. So it could take up to like 60 hours of gameplay to 100% the game. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do literally everything in the game, honestly. It might be more like, I don't know. I might just like try to get to like the true ending if there's that many bad endings. So, especially if like the bad endings don't really contribute to the story anyway, like you don't learn anything like really important. I'll just like, I might, after like playing through the game at least once, I might look up to see like, these are the endings you should get in order to get like the full experience of the game. These are the endings that tell the most story and stuff. And just go for those. I'm not actively gonna try to 100% the game if it's gonna take that long. Okay. As you play through the game, the various mechanics will be explained. In 428, you follow the stories of multiple protagonists at once. Your decisions impact your experiences as you read the story. What does the day hold in store? The fate is in your hands. Hopefully, you can see them all through to the end. To start, you have two characters, Shinya Kano and Achi Endo. Let's begin by checking out Kano's story. No. Okay, it won't let me. Okay. I don't know if this like I don't know if this game autosaves or anything. I don't know. I don't like the heartbeat. Just 2 more minutes to go. That is loud. I don't like that noise. Shinya Kano noted the time again on his watch, scowling at the slow creep of the second hand. Time was 9:58 a.m. What is this noise? I don't like it. It's too loud. Hold on. Nothing I can do about the volume. Bad ending list. Hold on. This is a list of bad endings. Here you can check for hints as to why things ended badly as they did. Okay, I haven't gotten a bad ending yet, so... Text log, main menu, hide text, open time chart... There's gonna be a time chart. I feel like things are gonna get, difficult. or complicated. Furrows of consternation creased his forehead. He wasn't nervous, but he knew better than to expect everything to go smoothly. Keeping a level head was proving rather difficult. There's no room for failure. Lies were on the line here. Why? What's going on? Guide his surroundings. Was the perp really going to show up? Is he like a detective? Kano. When? Where would he be coming from? How do he make his approach? The Shibuya Scramble is packed as ever. A throng of people crossing this way and that, blissfully unaware. Of dozens of detectives hidden in its midst. Okay, he's definitely a detective. God damn it. Alright. Alright, another minute and a half. Kind of glanced down at his watch yet again. A mere 30 seconds had passed. Detective Kano had been with the enforcement arm of Shibuya's criminal affairs section for a year now, but he'd never been part of an operation this big before. He had the young woman standing beside the statue ahead. She's small enough to get lost in the crowd and carried a nondescript attached I don't know how to pronounce that word. Attached case. Tomi Osawa, age 19. Detached case... Attache? Okay, attached case in her hand contained a full 50 million yen in cash. Yesterday, her twin sister Maria had been kidnapped. This was the ransom payment. The culprit had called Hitomi last night at home, referring to her by name and telling her to wait by the statue of Hachiko in Shibuya. It's almost time, but nothing. Kano was staring fixedly at the second hand on his watch when a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk murmured just loud enough for him to hear. Come on, Kano. Quit looking at your watch so much. What if the kidnapper sees you? Kano tried to look nonchalant as he lifted his eyes, but the scruffy character continued. You're too nervous. Just relax already. You're the one acting suspicious, Sasayama. Kano frowned. Why would some homeless guy be talking to me? Okay, it's hard to tell who's talking. Wait. Let me read this thing first. Yuji Sasayama was a senior officer of the Shibuya Precinct's Criminal Affairs Division, 5 years older than Kano. Okay. Some words and phrases in the text appear in blue. These are called tips. Press square to underline a tip, then press X, let you read some extra info referring to that word or phrase. Tips containing general knowledge and one that are 4 to 8 specific. These are marked with a magnifying glass and a 4 to 8 respectively. Official name Shibuya Central Precinct. Responsible for the safety of approximately 200,000 people in 32 neighborhoods, including Uehara, Ugi, Sudanshicho, Uragawa-cho, Ibisu, Ibisunishi, Ibisu-minami, Oyamacho, Kamiyamacho, Sakuragaoka-cho, Sasuga, Sarugakucho, Shibuya, Shoto, Jingumae. A lot of Japanese names. Shinsencho, Jinan, Sendagaya, Daikanyamacho, Dogenzaka, Tomigaya, Nanpei-daicho, Nishihara, Hatagaya, Hachiyamacho, Hatsudai, Higashi, Hiro, Honmachi, Maruyamacho, Motoyoyogi-cho, Yoyogi, and Yoyogi Kamisonocho. Lots of Japanese names. Thank you. Also, the blue... Before you, actually, highlight it, the blue is a little bit too, It blends in a little bit too much with the white text. So I might miss it, and I'm a little afraid that I will. I always went a little overboard with the disguises. He claimed it was all part of the job, but word around the station was that he just liked playing dress-up. Hey pal, spare some shades. Sasayama lurched up to his feet and shuffled in close to Kano. Hey, knock that off! Heading for the part, Sasayama reeked pretty badly. Well, he's so suspicious now, huh? He clung to Kano with mock camaraderie, despite the younger man's attempts to pull away. Come on, Sasayama, cut that out! Sasayama's blithe confidence rattled Kano's nerves. Of course, there was good reason for that confidence. This was Kano and Sasayama's jurisdiction, but they were positioned a good distance from where the handoff was to take place. Okay, this is just... it's just defining terms. Particular region over which an organization or member at the pinnacle of Tokyo's police hierarchy have vastly more authority than local precincts. Since many officers wind up needing to work with both, the outright rivalry between the two isn't as notable as TV dramas may make it seem. Statue of Hachiko is surrounded by elite investigators from one of HQ's special investigation teams. Sometimes 2 or more tips will appear on a single screen. Change which words are underlined, highlight the tip you wish to read, then press X. Press circle to return to reading the story. Statue of Hachiko. Bronze statue of a dog erected in 1934. A dog was famous for loyally waiting for his absent master, well known as a meetup spot outside of Shibuya Station. Other popular meeting spots at the station are the display car for the original Tokyo 5000 series, commonly known as the Green Frog, and the Moyai statue by the west entrance. HQ. Refer to the Metro Police Department. Japan's largest police organization, various in the capital, okay. Kano and his partner were waiting there to provide backup if the kidnapper attempted to flee. Look, just try to relax, we'll be fine. Sasayama gave him a wink. A moment later, the radio squawked in Kano's ear. Alright everyone, it's time. Keep your eyes open. Voice coming through the earpiece was Koji Kuze, HQ's operations director. Actually, yeah, they're doing Western order for the names, I think. Directing the investigation in the event of a serious crime if a task force is set up. Director is one who issues command. TV dramas and other fictional accounts often feature some young prodigy from the MPD as operations director, but in reality the position usually goes to a proven veteran. I like how they're adding like how do I phrase this? Like they're comparing it to like how people see it on TV usually and real life. I think they're just like trying to show like this game and its story is pretty grounded in reality. We're not going to do like some weird stuff like you see on TV dramas and stuff. Until last year, he'd been the Shibuya precinct's head detective and Kano's supervisor. You don't know when the perp is going to make contact. Don't let your guard down. Kuze's low, gravelly voice echoed in Kano's ear. Don't sound too worried, Kuze. Kano winced at Sasayama's words. How can the man be so nonchalant? Point in time had come and gone. Something should be happening. Wow. Slapped himself in the thigh, damn. Smacked himself in the thigh to release a little tension. Sound was louder than he intended, though the suit hit his muscular physique and did a little to dampen the noise. He's got some thick thighs. You need to stay focused. Might have called to action at any moment. Department handled abduction cases according to a certain standard investigation procedure. Was it an attempt to extort money, or was the motive something personal? The answer to that question determined how they deal with the criminal. And based on the investigation team's initial findings this time around, they probably weren't dealing with a professional kidnapper. Still, in all likelihood, it was someone with quite a long rap sheet. Probably someone who knew the family, but so far they had a few leads on who might bear such a grudge. Situation so unclear, the plan was to apprehend whoever came to make the handoff on site. Culprit ran with the money, there'd be no guarantee of the hostage's well-being. That's saving. Still nothing, Sasayama muttered. There he is! He's here! Kuze broke in, his voice spiking to an excited chirp. Kuze's particular vocal quirk. Whenever he gets overly flustered, excited, or panicked, he slips into a childish register prone to babbling and pitching his voice. Okay. Subject is a young male in his 20s, wearing a bandana and an orange hoodie. Kuze, normally calm and stoic, was now squawking like an excited child. That only happened when he got particularly worked up. Kano and Sasayama steeled themselves. You could see the subject now. Oh, he's handing out like flyers or something. 20-something male nonchalantly approached. He told me to try and talk to her. Alright people, be ready to grab this guy. They was standing in the mobile command center, not far from the intersection, keeping tabs on the situation via video surveillance from the camera team. The young man started speaking enthusiastically to Hitobi. Detectives watched uncertain. Is this really a kidnapper? It's gotta be him! You'll encounter selections like these during the story. These choices will change the lives of other people and according to changing your own fate. Use D-pad to select your choice and then press X. Current choice will not impact you or any of the other protagonists. The current choice. That's gotta be him. Kano took a step forward and hesitated. The situation still wasn't entirely clear. He still needed to get a better look at things. Well, I just said that this choice doesn't really matter, so, Situation still wasn't entirely clear. He needed to get a better look at things. Newcomer held a bundle of letter-sized paper, which he showed Hitomi as he went on talking. Tried to hand her one of the papers, but she pointedly ignored him. Undeterred, the man kept trying to foist it off on her. He used to respond, becoming as motionless as the statue of a Hachiko behind her, until finally the man gave up and walked away. Yeah. Just a guy trying to hand out flyers. Also, they're clearly photoshopped in the. I feel they look very photoshopped into this image. They just look a bit too sharp compared to the background. And also Sasayama's hair is funky. Guess it wasn't him. Kano felt the tension of the moment linger in his spine. Guy must have been hitting on her, Sasayama mustered. Seeing and meeting someone on the fly like this takes a special knack. Looks are also important. Sometimes the course person is just trying to get your attention out of nowhere, is just trying to make a sales pitch for a product or a nearby establishment. At first glance, it isn't always easy to tell the difference. I mean, she is pretty cute and all. He had a point. Though of course, something in Sasayama's voice made Kano brace himself. He's got nothing on my Mi-chan. Mi-chan was Sasayama's wife. They got married just last month. Oh, this guy is gonna die. This guy's gonna frickin' die. Let me tell you, Kano, married life is the best. You gotta hurry up and give it a try for yourself. This was Sasayama's favorite topic lately, and Kano was getting more and more fed up with it. Sasayama, come on, just knock it off, okay? There's this common refrain since the department partnered them. This guy is... I just feel it... It's like in a war movie and a guy pulls out a photo of his girlfriend back at home or something. Fine. Let's talk about your girlfriend then. Huh? Now, you can't be serious. Sasayama leaned in close again. What's she like? We are not having this conversation. Kano muttered, looking away. Ah, come on. Sasayama set his hand on Kano's chest, still playing the homeless troublemaker. Show me your phone. Let me see your lock screen. Huh? Sasayama pawed for the phone. You got a pic of your girl in your lock screen, yeah? I do not. But he did. It's scary how on the mark Sasayama's instincts were. Hey, cut it out. We're in the middle of investigation. I am investigating, Sasayama chuckled as he plucked the phone from Kano's pocket. What year is this game supposed to be in? It's not a smartphone, it's a flip phone. His face crunched up with astonishment as he looked at the lock screen. Heck is this? It's not... Ain't this Masami Nagahama? A national star. Tends to play the heroine on national morning soap operas or international historical dramas. Her songs have been a series of national hits, and she's even slated to host the year-end national singing competition program. Everything about her is national. Is it like a celebrity crush? Kinda realized he had to bite the bullet. No, that's my girlfriend. Her name is Rumi, and she's... Sam cut him off. Tell me this ain't Masami Nagahama, the famous actress. Because this right here is Masami Nagahama. Like I said, it's my old dog, trying to make it make like you're dating Masami Nagahara. I'm not, I mean, I guess Rumi does kind of look like her. Sasayama let out a huff. Real? You really think I'm gonna fall for that? Nothing to fall for, I swear. Sasayama scowled, unconvinced. Alright, why don't you marry her? Kano stammered, but he had no answer. Truth is, he would have happily married her already, but there were obstacles that needed to be overcome. Okay, playtime's over, let's focus on the job. Sasayama handed back Kano's phone and turned his gaze back to Hitomi. Let me adjust my microphone a little bit. Kano let out a quick, uneasy sigh, but his shoulders did feel looser. Maybe Sasayama's been trying to relieve him a bit of tension. Maybe he should be grateful. You're gonna look back and she's not there anymore. By now, several minutes have passed since the guy with the papers had gone away. Still there. Appeared at Hitomi, the strain on her face was visible. In addition to the attached case itself, the 5,000, 10,000 yen, 10,000 yen bills it held weighed close to 6 kilos. 6 kilos is a lot. Slender arms must have been getting tired. She refused to set the case down. She wasn't taking any chances with her sister's life. Kidnapping case had begun the day before at around 7 p.m. This is MPD dispatch. The Shibuya precinct is reporting a missing person believed to be an abduction. Japanese law, the act of indirectly luring or deceiving someone into the control of a third party is known as kidnapping. Using forcible threats or violence to achieve the same result is known as abduction. Okay. Abduction is just more violent kidnapping, okay. Subject is Maria Osawa, a 19-year-old student at Midoriyama Academy, last seen at the LL Diner near campus. A man was allegedly seen forcing her into a car nearby. All officers in the vicinity purport to have seen it at once. Kano and Sasayama had been working a burglary case in Jingomai's 5th district when they got the call. Two arrived at LL Diner at 7:15 p.m. Roughly at the same time, several other officers showed up to the security area, blocking off entry to nearby roadways and monitoring the surrounding establishments. Inside a restaurant, Kano and Sasayama were met by the girl who reported the kidnapping. It was the victim's twin sister, Hitomi. Could you tell us about when Maria was taken, starting from the very beginning? Kano said, keeping his voice low. My sister and I were supposed to go to a party together today. Hitomi was trembling, her voice hoarse. But I messed up the time. Showed up at 7, an hour later than I was supposed to. So Maria had gone to the party, a mixer for locals and exchange students. Hitomi, arriving late, had showed up just in time to glance out through the restaurant window and see her sister getting shoved into a car. They described the vehicle as a blue station wagon of Japanese make. Why would something like this happen to her? Tommy held back tears, but she was shaking all over. Did you get a look at the kidnapper? Yes, it was a man, middle-aged. Oh, there's another eyewitness, Leyland Palmer. He identified himself as a lecturer at Hitomi and Maria's school. I saw too. It's like Hitomi says. I heard Hitomi cried out, and so I went to the window to look, and his Japanese was halting as if he hadn't been in the country for very long. I think that maybe the kidnapper was working alone. Leyland explained that he'd seen a man shove Maria into the backseat, then clamber into the driver's seat. He had accomplice, why wouldn't they have been driving? Neither Hitomi nor Leyland had gotten a look at the suspect's face. Kano was interviewing other people who had been on the scene, looking for other potential witnesses when his phone rang. It was Yoshio Kajiwara, one of the senior detectives. We've set up a task force for the investigation. Get back to the station once you have a handle on the situation there. Barely half an hour had passed between the time the kidnapping was reported and the time the task force began operation. Roughly 150 people are working on the case in Shibuya's precinct's conference room. Main force at work is HQ's for Special Investigation Unit. Additionally, other detective sections, the riot squad, and investigators from neighboring precincts have been assembled. When Kano and Sasayama got back to the precinct station, Kuze had already arrived from HQ. He had informed them that a response team had been formed to investigate the victim's home. In a case where someone had been abducted for ransom, it is often difficult to resolve the situation without cooperating with the victim's family. The family can also be a hindrance in making an arrest. To help guide the family's actions, a response team is assembled and stationed at the victim's home, led by an investigator with the proper training. Kano could feel a particular tension in the air. Unfamiliar MPD detectives scurried off to and fro around the Shibuya offices. He pulled one of them aside to get a quick update. Now it had passed since the kidnapping. There had been one new development. The perpetrator had made a threatening call to the victim's home. It said the following. Tomorrow, 10 AM by Hachiko in Shibuya. Have the sister Hitomi bring 50 million yen. If not, the girl's life is forfeit. Kajiwara from the precinct was put on response team, along with detectives from elsewhere who had received special training in abduction cases. Normally, a local precinct detective wouldn't have gone undercover in a victim's home. Kuze, however, had decided that having a knowledgeable local was crucial and had sent Kajiwara along. Detectives have disguised themselves to delivery people and movers to make their way inside without arousing suspicion, arriving there at 8:30. Response team has come prepared to run a trace if the kidnapper contacted the family a second time. Pinpointing the source of an incoming phone call are not allowed to do this independently without oversight. They must go through a formalized process that incurs in securing the cooperation of the phone company in the past. Conducting the trace itself would take time, but nowadays acquiring the location can be practically instantaneous. I'm really curious as to what year this game is supposed to what year the story is supposed to take place. I want to look up what year this game was released. Initial release date 2008. 2008. My sister had a flip phone then, so maybe. I don't think smartphones were really as widespread in 2008. But there were no further calls. They were not, yeah. Sorry, I cracked my neck. Kano checked his watch again. 20 minutes had now passed since the time designated for the ransom handoff. Kidnapper had yet to appear. Crap, you think we might have spooked him? He wondered aloud. Hey, stay calm. Asayama scanned the passings wrong. He's just playing with us. Why did this guy even pick this place? It's super public. Kano voiced a question he'd been asking himself ever since he heard the kidnapper's demands. Asayama shrugged. Figured he must want to blend in with the crowd, nab the money, and disappear before anyone knows he's there would be my guess. In that case, why not pick Shinjuku or Ginza? Big crowd didn't just benefit the kidnapper after all. It allowed the police to use the sea of people to conceal their own operation. Right now, there are 50 detectives stationed within a 50-meter radius from the 50-meter radius of where Hitomi stood. Kidnapper would be taking a major risk if his plan was to nab the ransom money and run. That's what bothered Kano. Any criminal with half a brain would know better than to do a handoff in front of Hachiko. You're overthinking things, pal, Asayama grumbled. No, I'm not. Kano reached into his pocket and pulled out his notepad. This was kind of... Sorry. I know it's short form for detective, but... Alright, professional. I'm so professional. Oh my god. This this was Kano's dick diary, which he always kept close at hand. Where else are you gonna keep all those ornamented dick pics? I know, right? You gotta keep a close eye on your health, man. You know. You know. You know. Sasayama rolled his eyes. That thing again? Kind of ignored him, flipping through the notepad pages. Oh, here it is. I don't really know kanji. Oh no. 89. I'm not really good with kanji. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Dig dictum, 89. The more relevant something seems to be, the more relevant it's bound to be. Is a favorite saying of Kyuzo Tateno, an assistant inspector from the Shibuya precinct. Tatsuno was the kind of detective Kano aspired to be. For the current operation, he'd been placed in charge of Hitomi's personal safety. He was in position to defend her as soon as the ransom had been handed off. Of course, Hitomi had been informed about how much protection she was under. There's a risk that if she acted too secure, it might alert the kidnapper. I think Tatsuno has the right idea. Sasayama snorted quietly. Maybe. I mean, he's a great detective, don't get me wrong. But do you know how many irrelevant things there are to consider? Again, Kano ignored him. It didn't matter if nobody else understood. Kano had faith in Tatsuno, as both a detective and as an individual. That tells me he's a bad guy. He had first witnessed Tatsuno's brilliance during a standoff at a financial company 3 years earlier. The man had shut himself in an office, splashing gasoline everywhere and threatening to set the place ablaze. While the others hesitated, Tatsuno unfortunately doused himself with gasoline and strode into the building where he managed to talk the man down and secure a scene. Holy shit. The others had been awestruck by Tatsuno's actions. Kano, who at the time been content to be a run-of-the-mill policeman, had found it quite inspiring. That sounds bad for you, man. Still, you know. Asayama murmured under his breath. As a great detective Tatsuno is, it's not like anyone in the world has ever heard of him. I suppose not, Kano said. So? Banana. Only time anyone ever hears a cop's name is if he's caught up in some scandal or killed in the line of duty. I mean, doesn't really seem fair, does it? Kano just shrugged. Strange definition of unfair, really. I mean, you got celebrity chefs and celebrity hairdressers and stuff. How come no celebrity gumshoes, you know? No detective princes. Look, please, can you just focus on what we're doing here? Kano rubbed his eyes and turned his attention back to Hitomi. Still there. What's the matter? Didn't sleep? Not enough, I guess. Did you eat? Didn't have time. Between bringing in supplies for the base of operations, readying team vehicles... Base of operations, set up such as an auditorium, are assembled there, communications equipment, investigation resources, and such are brought in. Scale and scope of these activities, newspaper reporters can be liable to notice, and so in cases such as kidnapping where a victim's personal safety is at stake, the flow of information is tightly controlled. Photocopying hundreds of documents and various other tasks, Kano had barely slept in the previous night. And he got a meal in Hadn't gotten a meal in either. What have you been doing? Sam puffed out his chest. Giving up my energy for the day. You should probably eat, man. So you were sleeping. Kano gave a wry chuckle at his partner's lack of shame. There he is! Kuze's voice chirped suddenly through Kano's earpiece. Man in his 20s wearing a sleeveless red jacket. He's carrying a garbage bag. It's the other protagonist. The young man had emerged from the crowd about 15 feet from where Hitomi was standing. He strode towards her, a sinister look on his face. He didn't match Hitomi's description, but Kano felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper had hired some young street punk to snatch the ransom payment. That our guy? What do you think, Kano? Sasayama whispered. Yeah, I think he's gotta be. This was it. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat, bent his knees ready to act fast. Blood rushed to his leg muscles, banishing the stiffness that had begun to take hold. Is this be the culprit? Or perhaps... The young man tried to snatch the briefcase from Hitomi, but she clung to it with desperate strength. It was him. Detectives rushed in. Whoa, hey, what the hell? I bet he's probably gonna be like a... I feel like he's probably gonna be like a scapegoat. The young man cried out frantically and tried to dart away, but the officers closed in, forcing him bodily to the ground. Target secured. Oh, jeez, I think we got another suspect on scene. He's taking the ransom. Yep. God damn it. Kuze has hysterics made Kano spin around. Sure enough, a foreign-looking man was sprinting away, attached case in hand. Mob of detectives scrambled to pursue. Well, before Kano could react, most of them had run off, leaving him to look after the original suspect. Your... thing is, you're... Oh... What should I go do with this guy, sir? Might have some connection to the kidnapper. Can I bring him in? Oh sure, that'd be swell. I'm on it. With the help of one of the remaining detectives, Kano brought the suspect back to the Shibuya precinct. That's where, I think his name was Aochi? Aochi? Look, how many times do we have to go through this? Cut the crap. In an interrogation room, the young man who gave his name as Achi, okay, Achi Endo, steadfastly insisted on his innocence. Why'd you try to steal that case? Kano watched Achi's face intently. Like I said, it looked heavy. I was just trying to help her out. It wasn't inconceivable that a young guy would want to help a pretty girl. He told me to just been standing there, hardly in desperate need of assistance. She hadn't set the case down, so I figured there had to be something important inside. Entry from Kano's dick diary shot through his mind. Dickdom 25. The tongue slips, grab it, and yank out the truth. Classic advice for questioning. Something important you say, such as, how the heck would I know? Achi spat. He huffed and slumped back in his chair. Standard textbook back and forth had been going on for nearly an hour. Kano didn't mind. Chasing down criminals was all well and good, but questioning suspects was another key part of the job. Plenty of office scene work went into cracking a case. Once again, he had Achi explain what he'd been doing, starting from the beginning. Kano finally emerged from the interrogation room for a short break. He learned that there had been some progress on the case at the crime scene. What the police hadn't been able to determine yet, however, was whether or not Maria was safe. Fighting back his anxiety, Kano consulted his dick diary. Dickdom 54. Haste makes waste. There's gonna be a Dickdom 69 at least. Felt his tension subside. Remembering the Great Maxim always helped. It was like casting a magic spell. Kano returned to confront Achi once more. We're there to act as a distraction, to mess up the investigation, weren't you? Huh? Achi looked a bit dumbfounded. What are you on about? Dickdom 55. The truth hungers to be free. You hungry? Got some katsudon if you like. Katsudon is like fried pork on rice. Yeah, a Japanese dish consisting of a bowl of rice topped with breaded pork, and cutlet, and egg. Several variations such as sauce katsudon, where the egg is replaced by Worcestershire sauce, and miso katsudon, where the pork is stewed in miso. Not typically the sort of thing a policeman offers a suspect during interrogation. This could be seen as baiting with food and is to be avoided. Achi nodded silently. Where did you get it from, man? Achi devoured a bowl of katsudon with gusto. He looked like he hadn't eaten in a while. Alright then, spill it. What's this guy after? Ah? Achi just shrugged. Oh, he murmured, a thick slice of egg-laden pork between his teeth. How many accomplices do you have? Kano asked, but Achi just shook his head as he inhaled his food. I don't think he knows anything. Resignedly, Kano flipped through his notebook once more. Let's see. Number 115. Use the lights to your advantage. As minutes ticked past, he found himself referring to his book again and again, trying a dozen different methods to ease out whatever the suspect might be hiding. Experience began to feel strangely surreal, their two voices echoing hollowly in the interrogation room. Eventually, Kana looked at the clock and realized that the questioning had been going on for nearly 5 hours. He still hadn't made any headway. What was he supposed to do next? Tatsuno would know, but he sure didn't. Still, he was determined to do whatever he could to keep the victim and her family safe. Gritting teeth in his frustration, he pursued the Dick Diary like it was scripture. Look at the smug look on this guy's face. Number 116. Matana's questioning was clearly tiring Achi out. His eyelids drooped like they were beginning to get heavy. Number 117. Get them when they're tired. Kano's eyes gleamed. You're part of some criminal gang, huh? Oh, he conked. Achi's head is slumped forward heavily. Nodding up is basically the same as nodding, yeah? I think you're jumping a bit too... You're jumping... That's a big jump in logic. Mr. Kuze, I did it. The young guy we grabbed at the handoff site, he finally confessed to the crime. I think you're a dumbass. What are you talking about? Kuze laughed in disbelief. We're just about to apprehend the mastermind here. Huh? Kano clutched his cell phone, dumbstruck. Listen, why don't you, like, just wait there at HQ, okay? Nah, can't be. The plot happened while you were, trying to... Okay. After the kidnapping case wrapped... Is this a bad ending? After the kidnapping case wrapped up, Kano had tendered his resignation. Guess I'm not cut out to be a detective after all, he thought to himself. He dropped the Dick Diary on his desk as they left the Shibuya precinct for the last time. Did he also leave his gun there? With Achi, like, asleep at the desk? Seems dangerous. Bad end. Number 1, so long Shibuya. Kano wound up at a bad end. However, this does not mean that the choice you made for Kano was the wrong one. One of the other protagonists, Achi Endo, has an impact on Kano's fate here. You can avoid a bad end by making proper decisions in another character's story. Okay, this is gonna get really complicated, I feel, depending on how many characters there are, how many character stories there are. For a detailed hint, check the tip by underlining the bad end title, press squared and X. Kano had every reason to suspect Achi Endo, but arresting him turned out to be a mistake. If Achi hadn't approached Tomi, this wouldn't have happened. Try playing Achi's story up to 10:30 and make a choice that keeps him from going up to her. If you do that, Kano won't even have a chance to arrest him and things play out differently. Okay. You can now select Achi Endo, one of the other protagonists. Let's follow Achi's story for a little while. Okay. I think... just from that, I feel like this game is going to be very Yakuza in that the main story is going to be very serious, but like the optional stuff, like the bad ends, are going to be a bit more goofy. So, yeah. Okay, no, that's just him. Just... Uh-huh. Just drinking water real quick. Achi Endo called out at the door to his father's room. Okay, I'm heading out. Sure. Father sounded unconcerned. He didn't even open the door. Sure you don't want me to stay here in the shop? It's not like we're gonna get any customers. Achi grimaced. Yeah, I guess not. Drawer at the front door held a stack of heavy-duty trash bags. Achi pulled a few of them out. It was gonna be that kind of day. He stuffed the trash bags into his pocket, then slipped on his favorite pair of sneakers. Entryway to Achi's house also led into the family shop. Kind of shop. Okay. Various pieces of electronics were piled up like so much junk in the tiny retail space. Lightest bump brought the risk of an avalanche. Achi wove his way through the gaps in appliances like a spelunker exploring a cave. I don't know why I can't talk right now. From Shibuya Station, if you make your way past the 109 building, then up through the Ginzaga, you'll come across an old shopping district. Nestled in its outskirts is Endo Electronics, in the same place it's been for decades. Within dimly lit interior, you'll find rows of wares all caked in dust. At a glance, you might as well assume the place was closed. A mom-and-pop place like Endo's couldn't compete with the big consumer chains booming throughout Shibuya. So far, the store had remained in business thanks to the locals who appreciated that they made house calls to do repairs. But things weren't looking so good for the future. Achi, the eldest son and nominal successor to the business, had no interest whatsoever in working there. Wonder if he has, like, younger siblings then. Achi stepped out of the shop and into the sunny morning air. Good weather lifted his spirits. Alrighty, time to do this. Unfurled one of the big garbage bags, which caught the wind and fluttered like a cape. Then he slowly made his way towards Shibuya Station, scanning his surroundings all the time. To pick up trash. Jeez, this place is filthy. Yep. He paused to pick up a plastic bottle that had been tossed on the ground. Then, with a heavy sigh, he slipped the crushed receptacle into his trash bag. At least wear gloves when you do this, though, man. You don't know where those things have been. It's been picking up trash around town like this for about 6 months now. It had gotten so that the sort of garbage most people would hardly notice stood out to him like a sore thumb. Most days he'd fill his trash bag to the top by the time he made it from his house in Ginzaga to the train station. Today he was halfway to the station when a woman's anxious voice caught his attention. I'm sorry, I'm in a bit of a hurry here. Oh. He looked up and saw a timid-looking woman being confronted by two men, one with brown hair and one with black. Unlike them, he guessed that the men were scouts for some hosts club. I ran into this sort of thing pretty frequently on his trash cleaning walks around town. Another kind of trash to take care of. Achi quickly interposed himself between the girl and the two recruiters. I can understand them using like having like actresses you know, for like extras and stuff. They do like multiple roles in the background. I'm pretty sure I've seen this girl before, like one of the people who are like sitting around in the background of the Hachiko statue. Interposed himself between the girl and two recruiters. Hey, can't you see that you're bothering her? Who the hell are you? The two men glared. Take a hike, pal. It's gonna turn out it's intentional. She's masterminding the crime of the city, but she was like in a... She was in a, like, I think she was in like a sailor uniform at the Hachiko statue or something. Or school uniform or something. Achi stood his ground, like, she ain't interested. She's gonna have to find some other mark. Hustler's annoyance turned to open rage. Well, listen to you. Got a bit of a mouth, huh, buddy? Brown-haired thug smacked his lips around a chewing gum like a dog worrying a bone. How about we take this someplace more quiet, yeah? What this means can depend on the to a young woman. Might suggest a cafe or park. To a strict punk means an alley where passerbys are unlikely to interrupt. Girl stood by uneasily watching the goings-on. Hey, take it easy. I'm not looking for trouble. That's supposed to be an apology. On your knees and beg, pal. Ew. Man spat his gum onto the ground. Ugh. Achi looked down at the glistening wad of gum on the sidewalk. His last shred of goodwill vanished. You better pick that up, bitch. Right now. What? Didn't you hear me? Because I told you one of me that... Achi's hand shot out, grabbing the man by the jaw. Whoa, easy, pal. The other man's bravado drained from his face. Achi tightened his grip on the brown-haired hustler's jaw and apparently broke it. Sweat dripped from the man's reddening brow. The man struggled, but Achi just tightened his grip. Gum's a real pain in the ass to clean up after it's gotten stuck on the street, you know. Ever stopped to consider that? Wait, are you... The other hustler's panicked eyes had fixed on Achi's chest. Ah! Oh crap. That shirt, man. Oh. The guy's voice was starting to break. That's Mean Clean. Guy with Mean Clean shirt. Carrying around a trash bag? That means you're... His face went pale. Mean Clean... The other man echoed the words through his held shut jaw, tears welling up in his eyes. Get it right, pal. Achi's clenched the man's jaw harder still. It's Mean Clean. Ow. We're sorry, man. You're Achi, right? Dude, we honestly had no idea. Come on, you gotta cut us some slack. Maybe have like some basic human decency and leave women alone when they tell you to leave them alone. The man scrambled to snatch the wad of gum off the street, stuffing it into his pants pocket. Oh, that's gonna be a pain in the ass to clean up later. Finally, Achi let go of his companion. Brown-haired hustler's face was twisted up with fear, tears streaming down his cheeks. Gasping out hasty apologies, the two thugs scampered off. Hey, so... A shy smile came to the girl's face. Oh, not that one. This one. Yoko Kakimuma. A second-year student at Midoriyama Academy's law school. These hustlers managed to corner her while she was on her way to a part-time job at a cafe. It's a popular plot in trashy e-novels for the main character to fall in love with a hustler like these guys, but such things rarely happen in real life. So I guess she's not an extra then? Okay. Thank you for saving me. No, I apologize. Huh? The girl stared in surprise. You'll run into creeps like that now and then, but don't hold it against us. Shibuya's a good town. Yeah, okay. Achi gave her a quick wave, then turned and continued on his way down Dogenzaka. Achi was Shibuya born and raised. He was keenly aware of all the changes the ward had seen since he was a kid. Grocery stalls and inconspicuous little side streets, tiny parks nestled between buildings. Achi knew it all like the back of his hand. Trash, human or otherwise, had no place in this town. Not on his watch. I love this guy already. Okay. Achi made his way down towards Shibuya Station. Throngs of people shoveled to and fro across the scramble. Views shifted constantly from one moment to the next, almost as if the city itself were alive. And if the city was a living thing, then Shibuya Station was its heart. Streets like Bunkamura Dori and Center Guys serving as the arteries pumping a bloodstream made of people. Today as ever, the heart was pumping that blood to every nook and cranny of Shibuya. And there's Achi, just another part of the great urban organism. Guess I'm one of the city's white blood cells. I've been rewatching Cells at Work lately, so... Or wait, maybe I'm a red blood cell? Hold on. Is that right? Or did I have it right the first time? White blood cells eliminate pathogens from the bloodstream. Red blood cells carry oxygen throughout the body. Achi was probably thinking of white blood cells. He's dressed in red though. His jacket is kind of like the jackets that the red blood cells and Cells of Work wear though. Emerging from his reverie, he noticed a rather conspicuous young woman standing by the statue of Hachiko outside Shibuya Station. I want him to not approach her or anything. Ooh, she's totally my type. Oh. Be someone up value to be someone's cup of tea. Thank you for... Thank you for defining that game. Wonder if she's a model or a small-time actress or something. Looks like she's waiting for someone. Probably another guy. Dang. But looking as she was, there's no way she wasn't already taken. What kind of guy scored a girl like that? Probably the rich-ass CEO of an IT company or something. Crouching down the top of the trash bag, he continued gazing wistfully at the girl. Then he noticed something peculiar. She's carrying an attached case, the kind a businessman might use. It is a large case and apparently so heavy that she was struggling to hold it despite using both hands. Okay. You reached a decision point. Let's have Achi not approach Hitomi. Use D-pad to select an option. Cool. What kind of person makes a young lady lug around something heavy like that? Achi figured he offered to carry it for her. First I gotta jump this trash. Looked around to see if there was a garbage bin nearby. Okay. Now Achi won't approach Hitomi, which means he will avoid being arrested by Kano. At the same time, Kano's fate will also change. And he will no longer wind up at a bad end. So let's switch back to Kano's story using the time chart. Press triangle to open it. Okay. This is the time chart. It shows us the protagonist's progression through the story. Decision points are marked with crossroads. Kano's fate has changed based on Achi's actions. Select Kano's 1030 block and then press X. Okay. Suppose you could call it that. Okay. There he is! Kuze's voice chirped suddenly through Kano's earpiece. Oh. The man in the black coat. He's not Japanese, looks to be in his early 30s. This looks kind of familiar. I'm not quite sure where I recognize it from, though. Previously... Previously, Achi got mixed up with Kano and the police, but now, another man has appeared instead. By changing what Achi did, you've also changed Kano's story. A foreign man had emerged from the crowd about 15 feet from where Hitomi was standing. He made his way towards her, his expression blank. Didn't match the description Hitomi had given them, but Kano felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper was using an accomplice to snatch the ransom payment. Alright. Tasayama raised an eyebrow. This may be our guy. I need to sneeze. This was it. Kano swallowed a lump in his throat. Bent his knees, ready for action. Blood rushed to his leg muscles, banishing the stiffness that began to take hold. This seems very familiar. Where's Maria? Was this the culprit? Or perhaps... Stranger took hold of the attached case. It was him! En masse! The tickets began to close in. Let's go, Kano! On it! Tasayama and Kano leapt into action. They never expected what happened next. Uh-oh. The case clutched in both arms, the man veered suddenly, running right towards them. Keep out. Oh. A locked point? Kano's story has suddenly hit a keep out. Keep out refers to a point in the story where your progress is currently stopped. In order to advance beyond a keep out, you need to jump from another protagonist's story. At 10:30, Achi has text young man in a suit as set as red keywords. Checking these red keywords will allow you to jump from Achi's story back to Kano's. Let's head back to Achi's story. Keep an eye out for that key phrase. Okay, this feels like it's gonna get really complicated. Try following the story from Achi at 10:30. Approach the girl. Okay. Press up to go back and reread sections you've already played through. Scroll ahead to text that you've already read. Press down. When rewinding and advancing like this, a book will sometimes appear in the upper left. X while this is being displayed to reread the current page. Huh? A man had come up beside the girl. He was dressed in black and he wasn't Japanese. Looks like they were having a conversation. Girl nodded tensely at something the man had said. Oh, there's the detectives. Achi stared. Something tells me that's not her boyfriend. Girl handed the attached case over to the man. Well, he took hold of it with his right hand and began walking briskly away. Ooh! Whoa! Get fucked. A nearby homeless man suddenly left over Achi and broke into a run as if he had been waiting for this very moment. Yuji Sasayama, known as cosplay detective due to strange outfits he wears, partner with Shinny Kanyo. Okay. Sitting alongside him was a young man in a suit. Some words in the text appear in red. Red text denote important keywords that let you jump between different protagonists' stories. This allows you to shift between characters at specific points. These can also allow you to clear out a keep out in another character's story and let you read on. If you come across red text, press square to underline and press X. Window will appear allowing you to jump from one protagonist to another at that point. Then press X to continue the other character's story after the keep out. Give it a try. By performing a jump from this screen, you can advance another protagonist's story past the keep out. Press X to confirm and jump over to Kano's story. Really very interesting visual novel mechanics. Let's go! On it, I feel like we read this before. You did a jump successful in 428. You often need to jump to get past another character's keep out. Jump from red keywords clear keep out. Keep this in mind as you advance through the story. Okay, there won't be any more tutorial messages for a while. If you get stuck somewhere, try changing protagonists or making different decisions to advance. And now use the time chart in the main menu. From the main menu, you can access gameplay explanation and adjust the settings. Press triangle to open the time chart and options to open the main menu. Never expected what happened next. The guy runs at them. What? Catching sight of the two detectives, the suspect staggered to a halt and bolted off in a new direction. Oh! Kana whips off his costume glasses, followed in his hot pursuit. Kana does the Yakuza shirt pull, but with glasses. At the crosswalk, the signal changed to red and the flow of foot traffic abruptly halted. Just as quickly, 100 cars all lurched back into motion. Uh-oh. There was no escape for the culprit now, or so it appeared. Converging cops slowed their pace, confident their man was cornered. Uh-oh. Ford burst straight into the intersection, dodging between incoming cars without any hesitation. God damn, the balls. The mob of detectives came to a halt, not eager to rush to their deaths along with him. Kano, however, remained in hot pursuit, charging into the traffic at the crossing. Uh-oh, Kano. Kano, are you crazy? Come back. Kano heard Sasayama shouting, but his feet kept carrying him onward. Kano! Oh. With shouts and sirens echoing all around him, Kano closed in on the foreigner. Just a little closer. Just a little closer and he'd been in tackling range. He leaned forward, preparing to pounce, his eyes fixed on the culprit's feet. It was now or never. Kano, back off! Don't take him down! It was Kuze shouting through Kano's earpiece. Huh? Kano hesitated in surprise. Had he been really ordered not to apprehend the criminal? Let me go now. The real purpose is somewhere else. Yeah. What happened to the plan? Been told that all personnel were to secure the area ASAP. HQ want them to catch the perpetrator? Rest team, stay on the foreigners trail. Police team dedicated exclusively to the task of apprehending the criminal. While kidnapping cases in progress, the roles of officers involved are carefully designated so every officer is ready to take immediate action as the situation develops. Typically, tried and true veteran MPD officers are put in charge of teams for breaking into buildings or apprehending the suspect. Right. Because Kano's job is specifically to make sure Hitomi is safe. Forensics team get busy cross-referencing photos. Actual tests and techniques of on-scene investigation, such as collecting and comparing fingerprints and analyzing photos of suspects. Even if this foreigner was only an underling hired for this one task, police had now tipped their hand that they'd been lying in wait. They lock things down now and get more info on the kidnapper. A girl's life might be at stake. Kano recalled another maxim from his dick diary. Dictum 12. Always assume a worst-case scenario. Kuze had told him to let this guy go. That would be implied that he's counting on a team that was now in position. But the crook had planned a way to break through the police dragnet and escape with the ransom, and he succeeded. What was the right call here? Should he take this guy down or back off after all? Ooh. This is tough. I don't know. I guess Kano's job is to make sure that Hitomi stays safe. Maybe. Yeah. Because his instructions have been clear. Let the other officers chase after the guy. Kano had his own job to do. Broke off his pursuit, pointing the next wave of detectives in the direction the foreigner had fled. Kano has almost gotten close enough to get a good look at the guy's face, but if Kuze had ordered him to let the guy go, well, his boss should know what he was doing. Herb was someone else's problem now. He had just ceased his pursuit when Kuze's panicked voice sounded shrill in his ear. Someone's taken Hitomi. Yeah, that's why he should have gone back. Kano recognized Kuzi's trademark swaging immediately. Subject is male, he seems to be carrying a gun, goddammit. Fleeing in the direction of Meijidori. What? Kano could hardly believe it. Tomi had been kidnapped. Had she been abducted by whoever taken Maria? But why? Someone must have been waiting for the moment when the police took their eyes off her. Something's very wrong here. What in the world is going on? Kano hurried to search for the man who'd taken Hitomi. He's heading towards Meijidori. There was a good chance he'd gone one of the alleyways nearby. After darting through the side streets, he spotted a different man and another foreigner crossing an intersection a few dozen meters ahead. The man was dressed in black, just like the guy who grabbed the ransom money. Kuze's right. The kidnapper wasn't acting alone. Wait, something wasn't amiss. Hitomi isn't with him. Where was she? Kano skidded around the corner then stopped short. Man in black was standing there, pointing a gun right at him. Before Kano could react, the man fired. Oh, bad end. Ooh, bad end. Kano felt hot all over as if he was on fire. All except for his cheek pressed against the asphalt and the palms of his hands. They felt so cold. There was nothing he could do. Nothing, that is, except lie there and watch as his killer turned and walked away. Bad end. Shot by a foreigner. By trying to find a man who'd taken Hitomi, Kano ran into a different criminal. And unfortunately for him, he got shot. The criminal had been there to get near Hitomi. She probably wouldn't have been taken. Have Achi make the choice to talk to Hitomi instead at 10:35? Okay. This feels like one of those games where you have to get a lot of bad endings in order to actually progress the game. Yeah. Yeah. Achi has to talk to Hitomi, but he can't be, like, suspicious about it. I feel like Kano is gonna die a lot. Just because he is the detective. So there's a jump with this. I'll know if I can, like, progress past the jump. I just need to not be sus about it. Sus enough for detectives to grab me. Now what kind of... Well, it's gonna... yeah. Now what kind of person makes a young lady lug around something heavy like that? I actually figured he'd offer to carry it for her. Pearl kept shifting her grip. It was clearly a strain for her to keep holding the case, but she didn't let it down. Just don't touch the case, Achi. Whatever's inside, it had to be something pretty important. Achi made his way over to her, bristling inwardly at whoever had left her waiting like this. If I were you, I'd bust the head of the pug that's kept you waiting. Huh? That thing looks heavy. Let me carry it for you. Don't. Girl stared back at Achi with wide eyes, but said nothing. Really, I'm happy to help. I'm not gonna steal it or anything. Ton was hurried as he God damn it. As he impulsively reached for the attached case. Instant later, a group of men descended on him on all sides. Ah! What the hell? For an instant, Achi froze, unable to process what was happening. Tried to run, but the men shoved him unceremoniously to the ground and held him there, shouting about something or another, but couldn't make out their words. Or he tried to struggle, the harder they held him down. What the hell is this? You can tell us that down at the precinct. Man in a suit knelt alongside him, flashing a police badge. Identifies the bearer as a member of Japanese law. Old-style badge case included a small notebook for the bearer to write in, but the modern version is modeled after that used by the FBI, where the badge case contains only the badge itself. Baden? What, you're arresting me? Heck did I even do? Instead of answering the stuff, they shoved Achi into the back seat of a patrol car. He gazed dejectedly out the window. He could still see the girl. She didn't have the case anymore. Now she was talking to a man with a cane. Was he the person she'd been waiting for? Baden? A moment later, car turned the corner and the two of them slipped out of view. slumped in the back seat, sulking in silence. Prosecutor badge. Several hours passed. After a bunch of pointless questioning, the police finally determined he was innocent and his father came to pick him up. For a long while, Achi just stared intently out the window of the car. Finally, his father caught his attention. The old man seemed to be in a surprisingly good mood despite having to collect his son from the jailhouse. Achi, there's something I want to talk to you about. It's about me taking over the shop. Now is not the time, okay? No, it's not that. Look, let's just get home first. Sure, don't feel like going out today anyway. But now I'm curious, what do you want to talk about? Got some good news, think you'll be pleased. Not sure I like the sound of that. Please don't tell me you're getting remarried or something. Huh. Dad, I really don't like the sound of that. So it began a very long conversation. Uh-huh. Okay, bad end. Arrested. Okay. God damn it, there's so much going on. Actually, since yeah, I guess because I hit the bad end here, I have to do the other thing again, right? I had to go back to choosing B before I can, go back to, like, Kana's route. I'm in a suit, then seemingly from everywhere, a whole bunch of other guys burst into motion. First one, then another, a third, a fourth, a fifth. Over a dozen now. What the heck? Clearly something big was going down. Were they after the attach case? In moments, Achi lost sight of all of them through the crowd. That many people chasing him, the guy with the case was sure to get caught. But wait, what about the girl? Achi turned around, the girl was still there. She was staring in the direction of the man who'd taken the case had gone, a worried expression on her face. Yeah, you want to talk to her so she doesn't get kidnapped. Achi couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. Maybe he should talk to her and ask what was going on. But just as he was making up his mind, a middle-aged man in a ratty business suit shuffled awkwardly over to her first. Uh-oh. Guy with the cane? Something wrong with one of his legs? He was using a cane to walk. Then one of his hands slipped into his jacket pocket. Oh, he has a gun. Achi could scarcely believe his eyes. Gun. A revolver? Colt Detective Special, a .38 caliber revolver, introduced in 1927 by Colt Manufacturing Company, as an example of snub-nosed revolver. As the name implies, the weapon is frequently carried by detectives, narcotics officers, and the like for self-defense. I think they said, like, he was, like, a foreigner now. Like, before, in Kano's story, maybe. Unless this is, like, a different person entirely. It's a detective gun. Suddenly, a young man came running through the crowd. Seeing him, the man with the cane turned on his heel and vanished in the scramble. It's Kano. Something big was going down. What is all this? The young man was closing in on the girl, his expression grim. That guy's up to no good. Achi sprang into motion. Oh, no, that's Kano. He got drop kicked. Poor guy. Okay. Leaping high, Achi delivered a flying kick right between the man's shoulder blades. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Guy went down but recovered surprisingly fast, spinning back to his feet to grapple with Achi. What the hell is your problem? What the hell is your problem, man? Achi snapped. Two stood staring at each other down as the crowd swirled around them. Let go of me. You let go of me first. After you let go of me, sure. You first, pal. Don't you call me pal, man. Don't you call me man, pal. You two are just dumbasses. Neither man was willing to yield. Crowd has parted to avoid scuffles. Passers-by were staring from all sides. Well, crap. Actually got a sudden sinking feeling. What am I even doing? Jumped in over my head as usual. His anger melted away, he loosened his grip. How's he, Toby? Please. Without further argument, the other man let go of Achi's jacket. Turning quickly away, the stranger hurried over to the statue of Hachiko where he dropped to his knees dejected. The girl who had been standing there was nowhere to be seen. Maybe this was the guy she'd been waiting on. The guy was clearly upset that she was missing. Achi actually felt kind of bad for him. So I'd be wise to leave while the guy's attention was elsewhere. He's not dead now, though. Phew. Hurried back along the road to his house. The wind had gone out of his sails and he didn't feel much like cleaning up trash anymore. Oh well, guess I'll read some manga and go to bed. I played safe before the day got any worse. And then he got ran over by a car. Tussle with a stranger, okay. Achi's interference with the young man, it was Kano, disrupted the detective's sting. If Achi hadn't acted on impulse when he saw Kano heading for Hitomi, things might have gone differently, but how can he make sure Kano doesn't return to the scramble and startle Achi? Key lies further along in Kano's story. Have him follow the guy, I guess. Fuck Kuze's orders. Take the guy, okay. Letting the perp escape now is too big of a risk. Gotta catch this guy ASAP. Man darted down a narrow alleyway. Kano ran faster. Man sprinted through the side streets. Evidently he knew his way around Shibuya pretty well. He noticed two people over by a trash pile. At first they appeared to be a young couple. Then, looking more closely, he realized the girl was Hitomi. Hitomi with... So he did... Okay. Hitomi with Achi then. Okay. So she wasn't kidnapped by... She wasn't kidnapped, Achi was trying to get her to safety. These guys just need to talk it out. Mr. Kuze, I've located Hitomi Osawa. Couple took off running, the rough-looking guy dragging Hitomi by the hand. She's with a man in his 20s. It looks like she's being led away against her will. Clarify, please, Kuze demanded. What's going on? I'm not sure. Is this guy a member of some criminal group? Look like the two were running away from something. Alright, we'll handle the foreigner. You go after Hitomi. Got it. Kano sprang into action. Stop right there! Young man glanced back at Kano. Rather than stopping, he picked up speed. These guys need to talk it out. Come on. Continue to drag Hitomi along with him. Didn't seem quite able to keep up. Kano knew he could catch them. He tried to close the distance in a sprint. After a short distance, the young man stopped, realizing he couldn't outrun his pursuer. Please talk it out, you two. Please talk it out. Shilling Hitomi behind him, he glowered at Kano. Why'd you run off? Kano demanded. You were chasing us! Blatant lie. People don't just bolt off like that without good reason. Young man started edging away, keeping Hitomi behind him. Hitomi, you need to say something here. Kano followed. Look, just let the girl go. Guy glanced back at Hitomi. She took her head fearfully. Maybe this troublemaker had warned her to keep her mouth shut? God damn it. God damn it. You got this, Kano. Just don't let them out of your sight. Sudden blow to the top of his head left him staggering. Uh-oh. His eyes spun as he reeled with vertigo. A book? There's a flapping sound and a vague black shape wheeled above him. Was that a crow? No, it's a book. It's very clearly a book. Did Kano die again? It was the last thing Kano saw before his vision went dark. Kato keeps dying. In the midst of chasing the man who snatched the attached case, Kato happened across Satomi and Achi. While confronting them, he suffered a blow to the head and was knocked out cold. But Achi only came this way because he thought it'd be the quickest way to escape with Hitomi. If he got a different for the police box instead, things might have gone differently. The key is what Achi does at 10:35. Kato death counter, god damn it. So, approached a girl. Then there was another fork in the road right here. So, I think this needs to stay the same. On a crazy day in Shibuya, they had to be okay. On a crazy day in Shibuya, they had to be shooting a scene for a film on location. Probably be a mistake to intrude. Yeah, I bet that's what this is. Some TV show about a kidnapping and the girl had to make a ransom handoff. Probably some actor looking around here playing the suave, handsome detective. Achi gave a chuckle and turned away. Sitting breeze blew by as wispy clouds drifted overhead. He picked a nice day for a shoot. Smiling inwardly, he resumed his trash-picking mission, wondering what other surprises the day would hold. Ooh. A few minutes later, he heard a loud bang and the scramble went into an uproar. Huh, someone blow a tire? People were running from all directions to see what would have made the sound. Or maybe they're shooting action scene now. So this is I think this is the ending where Kano dies. where he gets shot. Achi was a bit tad curious, but he strolled away from the scramble without looking back. Maybe he'll head to Yotsuya today to stretch his legs a bit. Neighborhood of Shinjuku Ward in southeastern part of Tokyo, located approximately 4 kilometers northeast of Shibuya Station. Actually, I think that now that I went down the route where Kano keeps pursuing the criminal, I think I need to have Achi, maybe have Achi talk to her again. This is gonna be kind of difficult to figure out because it's gonna be kind of difficult to figure out. Because like you had to have like the actions line up with like another person's actions in another story. It feels like there's gonna be a lot of different like branching paths you can go down because of that. It's gonna make my head hurt. Neighborhood of Shinjuku Ward, approximately 4 kilometers northeast of Shibuya Station. While the numbers 4 to 8 in Japanese can be pronounced the same way as the syllables for the name Shibuya, they can also be pronounced the same way as the syllables for Yotsuya. Additionally, April 28th is Born Shibuya Day and Yotsuya Day. Is both Shibuya Day and Yotsuya Day, along with Seniors Day. It was best not to get distracted. Another dead end. Another bad end. There's trash that needed collecting. Your future is garbage. He decided, which is all well and good for him, but the girl was actually in danger, as he discovered as if he investigated further. He missed. Okay. So I think now that I'm down the route where Kano doesn't get shot to death, it's gonna be like, I feel like there's gonna be like a lot of combinations of stuff, and it's gonna be difficult to figure out everything. Go back to this. Okay, guy with the gun. A revolver? And then what happened before? With a single fluid motion, the man lifted up the gun and pointed in the girl's direction. Was aiming right for her head. Uh-oh. Assassination. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Huh? Girl had noticed the man with the cane now. Seeing the gun pointed right at her, she froze in fear. Achi didn't hesitate. Bringing to a full run, he tackled the gunman with all his might. Caught off guard, the man sprawled to the pavement. The would-be assassin kept hold of the weapon and quickly scrambled back to his feet. At least he's showing proper gun safety. Achi knew that he had to act fast. Grabbed the ashen-faced girl by the arm and attempted to drag her away. This way, he shouted. She stared at him, uncomprehending, trembling like a startled animal. Come on, run! Finally, the girl snapped out of her daze and gave her a fearful nod. The police box, let's go. If we get out of here, Kano is going to get beamed by a buck. Police box, let's go. Ugh. So pulling the girl by the hand, Achi headed for the police box outside the train station. But it was empty. There was always policemen staffing these things. Why did it have to be unmanned now? Achi flashed a worried glance behind him and saw the assassin in pursuit like a man possessed. Yikes, this is not good. There's nothing they could do but run. With the frightened girl in tow, Achi ran beneath the JR Yamanote Line railway overpass. Railway loop line that services the Tokyo Metropolis. Typically, the morning rush is quite intense, with the stretch from Ueno Station to Okachimachi Station sometimes crowded as high as 216 per capacity, roughly 300 people riding in a space designed for 143 passengers, unrelated to the Yamate Line subway that operates in the city of Kobe. Don't worry, just trust me, he told her. But first, take the trash. Sped past a convenience store where an employee was cleaning up the sidewalk. Here, take this, will ya? Achi tossed over a bag of trash. Huh? This way. Slipped through a crowd into a nearby back alley, but this way's a dead end, the girl said breathlessly. Like I said, just trust me. Cool. Stopping abruptly, Achi kicked out a wooden plate covering a gap between two buildings, clearing a space that a person could fit through. See, we can get away through here, and you go. The girl just stood there looking terrified. What's the matter? Come on, we gotta hurry. But I... She looked at him as if he too was about to pull a gun on her. I could hardly blame her. After all, he was just some random guy who had turned up out of nowhere. This was no time for dawdling. The man with a cane appeared at the end of the alley. They just stood there. He was going to catch them. Okay, sweetheart, hear me out. He said in a rush. Name's Achi Endo. I live in the neighborhood and I'm not the kind to stand idly when a girl is being chased by some killer. So please, just trust me and I'll do my best to keep you safe. He's just a good Samaritan. He hoped the look in his eyes could convince her that he was being on the level. After a painfully long moment, the girl nodded her acceptance. Yeah. Right, let's start with this. Ew! They had paused behind an enormous stack of beverage crates. With a quick shove, Achi knocked the whole pile down, sending it cascading across their pursuer's path. Now that was a close call. The man with the cane was floundering, struggling to get past the falling crates. My bad, man, Achi called out. And clean that up for me. He's not the type to litter. Man scowled back at them and fumbled for his gun. Achi flashed him a wave goodbye and then slipped away between the buildings with the girl. I haven't really gotten a good look at this guy's face, I don't think. Log lady. Running down a narrow alley, they emerged into a side street lined with dive bars and clubs. Assuming the man with the cane hadn't given up, he would probably lie in wait on the path back to the main road. Achi decided their best bet was trying to stay inconspicuous rather than risk getting caught on the move. Guess we can lie low here for a bit, he said. He led the girl to the entrance of a tiny old hostess club. She followed him reluctantly. Achi flicked a switch inside the front door and a chintzy chandelier glowed to life. Sat the girl down on the small sofa beside the counter. She gave them a worried look. Achi felt a pang of embarrassment as he realized what she must be thinking. Oh no, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not gonna try any funny business. Someone I know used to run this place. It's not in business anymore, so I figure we're safe here. The girl chuckled at his evident discomfort. Alright then, she said. So, we good? We're good. Okay, well, good. Achi made a vague attempt to straighten his disheveled clothes. So, how about some introductions? I'm Achi Endo, like I said earlier. You can just call me Achi. I'm Hitomi Osawa. You can call me Hitomi, I guess. Okay, love interest for Achi, I guess. With each new word out of Hitomi's mouth, Achi felt his heart sing. She was charming, personable. Just about everything about her was captivating. Achi never met another girl like her. Achi? Is something the matter? You're spacing out there a bit. Achi shook his head to dispel his daze. Damn it, this is no time to get all starry-eyed. We need to think of some way to keep her safe from the guy who's after her. I'd call the police, man. Look, can you tell me what the heck is going on, please? I need to know if I'm going to help you. Right, okay. I'm not really sure where to begin. Tommy looked down, lost in thought. Apparently hers was a long story. Alright, she said at last. I guess I'll just explain things as they happened. Wait, hold up. Could you keep it as simple as you can? I mean, I'm not really the sharpest tool in the shed. Complicated explanations aren't exactly my strong suit. Okay, I'll try my best. She got comfortable and then started her story. So, last night, someone abducted my sister. Kidnapper demanded that I make the ransom handoff personally. He told me to stand by the statue of Hachiko in Shibuya at 10 o'clock in the morning to make the exchange. So, I did. And this man came by and took the... Oh! Why did you auto-scroll that 1 second? Oh, I'm sorry. Just hold up a sec. Achi had suddenly lost the thread of the conversation. Times like this, you can press up to go back and reread what you've already seen. Okay. Okay. And this man came by, and afterward, that other guy with the cane turned up and pointed his gun at me, and... Okay. Could you say it again, but like simpler? Sure, it's already pretty simple though. I'm just having trouble following is all. I mean, is this the plot to some movie or soap opera? No, that's not... Or some kind of hidden camera show? This is real. This really happened. Looking at Hitomi's eyes was dead serious. She's gotta be telling the truth. What would be the point of lying? And he had seen the attached case and the gunman himself. How much was the ransom, if you don't mind my asking? Hitomi hesitated. 50 million yen, she said after a moment. Achi gave a whistle of amazement. Detectives told me that was a typical amount for a kidnapper to ask for. It's plenty, that's for sure. There's good money in that sort of thing. As soon as the words were out, he realized his blunder. Open mouth, insert foot. Sorry, I should not put it that way. She did it awkwardly, and Hitomi looked away. I'm an idiot, but okay, I think I get this kidnapping thing. I'm guessing those guys who chased the guy who took the ransom were undercover cops. He played the scene in his head. But then, kidnapper took the attached case and ran, right? So if you were empty-handed, why did that guy with the cane come after you? I'm honestly not sure. Tommy's words trailed off. It was clearly difficult for her to talk about. Anyway, we should probably get you to the police as soon as we... No, we can't do that. Tommy's tone was resolute. I can't take this to the police. Why not? Did the guy tell her something? She waited to answer, but none came. The guy who took the money probably, like, threatened her, like, if they realized the police was involved. And then they realized the police was involved because the police went after the guy, which is why they tried to kill her. Achi waited for an answer, but none came. After a long and awkward silence, she stood up from her seat. I really appreciate the help, but I should go now. Gave Achi a deep bow. Hold on, what do you mean go? Go where? Hurried to intervene as she headed for the door. I don't want to cause you any more trouble. I'll figure out the rest on my own somehow. Hey, I said hold on. Uh-oh. And she's gone. Tommy ignored him and opened the door, and their argument came to an abrupt halt. It's a, I think, yeah, a Japanese guy. Not a foreigner, I don't think. Standing there was a man with a cane and his revolver in hand. Achibaden? To be continued. Okay, not a bad end. So we probably have to do it so like Kano finds them. They probably have to, yeah, probably do it so that Kano finds them after or spots the guy with the gun after they make it to the cabaret club or something. Achi Endo's 10 o'clock story ends here. However, Shinya Kano still has more to do. Read along further in Kano's story. To be continued. So... let's start from this choice then. Too big of a deal, had to catch him ASAP. Because he won't find... He told me now. Knew his way around Shibuya pretty well. A man shot out onto a major thoroughfare then bolted up a pedestrian bridge. Just where the heck was this guy heading? Halfway across the bridge, the man stopped abruptly. Cautious, Kano stopped as well. The face looks familiar. I don't know if I noticed actor from somewhere or something. Height roughly 190 centimeters. Age 30s, hair dark brown. Clothing all black. A moment later, the man flashed a triumphant sneer and held up the attach case. Before Kano could even yell stop, it was already too late. There's only money in there. There's only money in there. Well, it's 50 million yen, but it's just money in there. Man threw the attached case down to the roadway below. Peered over the railing. So, oh, yep. A man on a motorcycle was waiting beneath the bridge. I've been had. Kano bit his lip hard. Damn it! Kano sprinted back down the bridge. Hearing the bike's engine roar to life, he had to make it in time. License plate? License plate? Remember the license plate? Descending the stairs 4 at a time, he leapt towards the roadway, but the bike sped out of the reach and roared in the direction of Yoyogi, leaving Kano in its dust. Looking back up at the overpass, he saw the man who threaded the attached case running away. He handed the money off to someone else. He's carrying on a motorcycle heading towards Yoyogi. His report to Kuze complete, Kano slumped down in dismay. Cops had played right into the criminal's hands. The crooks were getting away and people's lives were in danger. Was there any greater failure for a policeman? Staring off into the distance where the man who thrown the case had disappeared, Kano gritted his teeth. Bad end? Oh, to be continued, okay. You finish reading both character stories for the hour of 10 o'clock, and 4 to 8 you'll make your way through all the protagonist stories in parallel like this. Once everyone has reached the end of a given hour, the next hour can begin. So like, can I go back and go back to Itomi, or will Kano die again? I don't know if like going back to like go check on Hitomi is just gonna be like a guaranteed death for Kano still. I'm not quite sure. Maybe, it could be. Okay. Still have at least, I think, 3 other protagonists that we haven't met yet. I'm really curious about who the hell might be. Oh, okay. There's everyone. This is at the end of the tutorial for this part of the story. You can reread previous tutorials messages via the main menu. There's a lot of important info in there, so reread it closely. Now, 428 has reached the 11 o'clock time block. You have 5 protagonists available. Whose story will you read first? I'm really curious about Tama. I'm really curious. Okay, so who else do we have? Osawa. Osawa is the same last name as Hitomi and Maria, so probably like the girl's parent, the girl's dad. Minorikawa, I don't think we've heard the name of Minorikawa before. I wonder if there's like a log or something. Or like, not exactly a log, like... I don't know. If I go back... Wait, no, it's straight to the title screen, okay. I'm really curious about Tama. So, adorable. You see them? They're just a little mascot. I feel like things are gonna get weird. It's so hot. Mascots usually don't talk, though. It's so hot in this thing. Unless you're like Funashi. Way too hot. I feel like I'm sitting in a sauna. Everyone else on the street looks nice and cool, but here I am, getting treated to my very own personal midsummer heat wave. On top of that, I can barely see, I can barely breathe for that matter, but hey, what can I do? I don't want to do... I don't feel like doing these sound effects. I'm so thirsty. An iced tea would be amazing right now. I'm gonna pass out from dehydration at this rate. May as well admit it, underestimated how tough this would be. Who knew wearing a mascot costume would be so uncomfortable? A delicate young lady like myself has no business doing this sort of job. I suddenly have so much respect for the people on those superhero team shows. Like, can you imagine doing action scenes in something like this? Like, all I'm doing is standing here and I'm this close to calling it quits. I can't. I need to work. I need the money. There's no time to be a wuss. If I give up on this, what else am I possibly going to do? Check out the revolutionary new diet drink, Burning Hammer! I thrust a free sample towards passersby while shouting as loud as I can. Sales gimmick, test the quality, trial size freebie version. Some shops also include free samples with purchased product. Please note that simply taking a product without paying for it in order to test it out is theft. Don't do it. Come on and give it a try. Oh, it's no use. We'll just walk by one after the other. We avoid looking at the sample. Been like this ever since I started standing here. It gives. I think at least one person would have taken a bottle by now. I mean, it's free, but I haven't managed to give away a single one. If this keeps up, there's no way I'm getting paid. This whole miserable experience will have been all for nothing. Your strength isn't watch the pounds melt away. No exercising or dieting necessary. I could hear this desperation in my own voice. Just burn! Burn those pounds away. Giving me cold looks now. Probably think I'm some shyster trying to offload a dodgy product. It's that simple, folks. You just drink the weight away, I guarantee it. Heck, this whole thing reeks of a scam to me too. Unknown origin. Several folk etymologies have been proposed, including that it comes from a simple shortening of scandalous misdeeds. Which claims have little evidence to support them. Losing weight just by drinking some concoction is way too good to be true. Still, free is free. I think I'll be able to give one or two away. It's not like I'm not trying. Okay, pep talk time. You can do this. Think about the money. Just start with one bottle. Alright, I'm gonna give this bottle to the next person I see, no matter what. Close my eyes and gather my determination. Just need to get started, and the momentum will build from there. Who? eyes open. There are two people walking in my direction. What? The guy on the right is Sasayama, I think? Wait, two? Oh no, which one do I pick? Keep waffling, they're both gonna pass me by. I think the guy on the left is actually the cane guy. I just need to hand this bottle off. Which of these guys looks more likely to take it? Clutching the free sample in my furry fist. So I either give it to the culprit with the gun, or I give it to the detective in disguise. Ooh, who do I want you to be in cahoots with? Or who do I want you to distract? Give it to Sasayama. Clutching the free sample in my furry fist, I try to force it off on this disheveled fellow to my right. To my surprise, he takes it. Huh? What's this? He asks, lifting an eyebrow as he looks at the bottle. Flap my fuzzy arms and strike a cute pose as I launch into the product pitch. It's Burning Hammer, the #1 new diet drink. Please, give it a try. No thanks, the man says. I'm good. Keep my eyes held open wide and pretend I didn't hear that. Look, he says. I'm in a hurry. Should give this to someone else. Tries to hand the sample back to me, but I hold my ground. For a few moments, we were at a silent impasse. Maybe he's weirded out by my cat alter ego holding its freeze frame pose, but because, eventually he looks away, slips the bottle in his pocket, and walks off. I did it! Finally got someone to take one. There's still so many samples left. A brief surge of excitement dies before I can even fully take the hold. Wonder how the other mascot is doing about now. There's a sales demo happening today at 1 o'clock at the Nokane building. Looks like the chicken has handed out all kinds of samples. I don't get it. How come no one's taking any of mine? What could I possibly be doing wrong? I look at the clock, it's a little after 11. My morning of wandering around hawking diet drinks is just about over. I need to get ready to head over to the sales demo. Love to take the costume off, but then I had to carry it. Samples I haven't given are almost too heavy as it is. Oh well. I've gotten results, but I tried my best. Hope they won't withhold my pay or anything. What gives? You got that many left? Chicken speaks with a female voice. Yeah, I reply sheepishly. No one seems to want to take mine. Well, I mean, are you looking for the right targets? Huh? Like groups of girls or bored looking over older ladies? Those are the types you gotta be gunning for, you know? Wow, I haven't even considered that. Now that she says it seems so obvious. This is a diet drink after all. Of course, I'm not gonna have any luck trying to foist it off some random guys. Well, whatever, Chicken says. Here, give me the samples you got left. I hand over my samples and Chicken dumps the whole lot into her basket. I'll drink whatever is left so they don't find out you didn't pass them out, she says. What a buddy. That might not be good for you though, if it's a diet drink. Huh? Wait, like all of them? Yeah, all of them. Chicken sounds pretty confident in herself. These might just be sample-sized bottles, but still, they add up to a lot. I could feel myself on the brink of tears at the kindness of her offer. Thank you so much, that's a huge help. I bow deeply, which makes my mascot head wobble. Leaving the station behind, we head down Center Guide towards the Nokane building. A multi-tenant office building in Udagawa-cho, located in Center Guide, Shibuya's downtown district. In addition to hosting the weight loss drink sales demo, the building is also home to the foreign capital protection firm Japan's Cellcom, the IT mainstay in Shibuya.net, video game developer Shindai Trade Co., and Strikeback Labs, publisher of the monthly magazine Science Strikes Back, along with many other businesses. While I was reading that, I actually had a thought. I was thinking like maybe like Sasayama was actually like following the guy with the gun. Following the cane man. And like, if we like, I don't know. He might have made Sasayama lose track of the cane man. Maybe if we gave it to the caveman and said Sasayama would have stopped and like watched him for a little bit, and we would have gotten that. Burning Hammer sales demo is going to be held here this afternoon. Job's supposed to play 10,000 yen for the day, but if we can sell at least 100 bottles at the demo, they promise another 10,000 on top of that. You make sure I sell those 100 bottles. I need that 20,000 yen and I need it ASAP. We arrive at the Nokane building, a rundown multi-tenant office complex. We head into the room where the Burning Hammer sales demo is taking place. Already about 50 seats set out. I wonder how many people the free samples will pull in. They've just been set up at the far end of the room. That's where I'm going to be standing, sipping Burning Hammer while explaining its effects to the customers. Up and take that thing off. Jen flaps her wings as she speaks. It's kind of early, but come on, let's have lunch. I'm starving. As she mentions it, I realize I'm pretty hungry myself. Demo's not starting for another 2 hours. Can't win a war against my stomach for that long. Chicken and I head to the waiting room where they set out our lunches for us. Am I getting my back real quick? The chicken asks. She arches her back towards me. Apparently she can't reach her own zipper. Oh, sure, just give me a sec. Try to unzip the back of the chicken suit, but my own suit's thick, fuzzy fingers have a hard time of it. So hold up, I'm roasting in this thing. Hurry up and get it off of me. Almost got it, it's just awkward with these mitts. Finally I get a hold of the zipper and yank it downward. Dead chicken. A girl emerges from the chicken as if the chicken itself were an egg. Yeah, alive. Red sweatshirt is drenched in sweat. Almost at once, she's kicking back and cooling off with a hand fan. Sorry, would you mind getting me too? I ask. Yeah, okay. Turn my back to the girl. I hear metal clacking behind me. Are you not able to— Oh? At long last, I'm about to be free of this 5-ton fursuit. Huh? Girl murmurs awkwardly. Spike of anxiety hits me. What's wrong, I ask. We're not gonna see Tama's face until like much later in the story, probably. Yeah, that's a no-go. Zipper's busted. What? Yeah, sorry, this thing ain't coming off. What? My vision goes dark. No. I tug desperately at the costume, but no luck. I'm trapped inside. Oh, what the crap? This is so cute. Ah, well, we can talk to the boss about it when he gets back, the girl says. I mean, it's not like we can just cut it off you with scissors or anything. Sounds entirely unconcerned. It's so unfair. I need to get out of this stuffy, sweltering steam bath as soon as possible, so I can frickin' eat. All I can do is clench my fists in impotent rage. But anyway, good work out there today, the girl continues. I'm Chiriko Osugi, by the way. Guess it's probably like her first day on the job. You can just call me Chiri. She smiles as she introduces herself. And I am a pretty cheery gal, after all. She breaks into a hearty guffaw. Oh, sure, I said. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, for sure. So I guess you're not gonna be able to eat lunch and not get up, huh? That's right. What should I do? Don't sweat it. Just leave it to me. Huh? I'll eat both lunches myself. Tira doesn't even wait for me to reply before reaching for my lunch. Be ashamed to just let it go to waste, she says. Man. Makes it sound like my leftover food is a bigger concern than my hunger. I feel my appetite stirring all the more as she devours my meal with a satisfied grin on her face. A faint, pathetic gurgle rises from my belly. Wait, there's a lot of really good possible thumbnails here. It's just a cheap little pre-packaged box lunch, but right now it looks like a feast. So, what's your name? Chiri asks. Cheeks are still packed with rice. My name? Yeah. Oh, it's, As I struggle to think of an answer, my eyes are alight on the piece of tamagoyaki clutched between Chiri's chopsticks. Yellow slab of lightly grilled egg wobbles to and fro. I can see the inside from the way it's been sliced. It looks somewhat undercooked. Come on, what's your name? Huh? Oh, right, Tama. It's Tama. You mean like the famous cat? I like that feeling. Fitting. Chiri chortles and stuffed a piece of tamagoyaki in her mouth and then takes a big swig of iced tea. God, I love Tama's story so already. I am beyond jealous. I wish I could gorge myself on these lunchboxes until I'm full to bursting. Are you gonna be like the girl who was kidnapped? Are you gonna be Maria for some reason? I don't know why you'd be in a... I don't really know why you would be in a mascot costume though. Cause you seem like you're probably amnesiac or something. Like even a cold glass of iced tea would be a lifesaver right now. You're gonna pass out from dehydration or heat stroke. I'm so thirsty, I'm starting to get all dizzy. Maybe I really am getting dehydrated. This isn't good. If I don't do something, I'm gonna pass out before a sales demo even starts. Then I remember something. The zipper on down my bag might be busted, but I can still take the head off, right? That way I'd be able to at least eat and drink stuff. Alright. I decide to... I feel like these are all going to have the same results. Grab the head in both hands and yank it upwards with all my might. Come on, no matter how hard I pull, it won't come off. Ow! I broke my own neck. A dull pain throbs at the back of my head. Did I smack it against something at some point? Cherry flashes me a curious look. What are you doing? She asks. I thought I could maybe at least get the head off. Try pulling again, refusing to give up. That ain't gonna work. It's attached to the body. It's part of you now. I slumped forward in defeat, face planting on the tabletop. No. Most folks would have noticed that when they put it on, you know. Well, I didn't. The boss helped me get into it. That is the thing. Well, don't let it get you down, Cherry says. Here, drink some of this. You can drink through straws? Okay. She pulls a bottle with a straw from her bag and pours some of the tea into it. Oh, okay, that works. In a fever of thirst, I jammed plastic straws through the mascot's costume in his mouth. Thankfully, it reaches as far as my own. Oh no. I suck for all I'm worth. I suck and I suck and I suck. My body rejoices as the moisture returns to it, like rain coming to the desert. And thus, I revive. Actually, it does kind of feel like I'm going back to life. Well, thank you so much. I'm never gonna forget this as long as I live. Tears welling up in my hands, I clutch Cherry's hand in my fuzzy mitts. Hey, I'm not the kind of person to abandon someone in need, you know, she replies. Ferris' grin crosses her face. How come you're carrying this bottle around with you anyway, I ask. Oh, that's because I make my own protein juice. In Japan, the word protein is frequently used to refer to a powdered health food supplement that contains vitamins and minerals as well as a protein component. It is dissolved in milk or another liquid to create a drink. A protein diet typically involves drinking a glass of this in place of a meal. Drinking it in place of tea would assuredly lead to weight gain. Protein juice? Never heard of it. Heard that if you have protein juice for one of your 3 meals a day, you lose weight, so yeah, I kinda need to keep it. Even she's sort of chubby frame, I don't think the protein's been working, so great for her. Well, she's still cute. Gotta be a body positive, but unfortunately, East Asian culture tends to lean towards a woman having a more petite frame. Also, it looks like the bitrate dropped again. Trying all sorts of stuff, but right now protein is the best thing for my diet. Stuff though. Cheery casts her eyes at the sample of burning hammer on the table. It's like totally bogus. Huh? Bogus? That's a surprise. Well, yeah. Gotta exercise if you want to burn body fat. Best way to burn fat. Steady, low intensity aerobic exercise. 20 minutes of exercise. Anaerobic exercise, which leaves you panting and breathless, is not effective. Smacks herself on one flabby arm. I mean, there's no way you're gonna lose weight by taking in more calories. Huh, didn't she say she was drinking protein juice to lose weight? I kept that thought to myself. I mean, that'd be as ridiculous as all-you-can-eat Kobe beef, she adds. She shakes her head seriously. Sure about all-you-can-eat as anything as an example in a discussion about weight loss. But I keep that thought to myself. A job's a job, Cherry says after a moment, perking up again. Tell me to sell this junk, so I sell it. Silent and wailing comes from the other side of the door. Please, just give me time. I swear I'll get it back to you. What the heck? Cherry says. Is that the boss? I nod. It's definitely Mr. Yanagishita's voice. He's the guy who hired me. Sidling up alongside Cherry, I very quietly open the door and take a peek inside. Uh-oh. Definitely Yakuza here. Mr. Yanagishita is down on his hands and knees, begging while two uncouth-looking men glower at him. Just a little more time, that's all I ask, he pleads, like protection money. Once I sell this stuff, I can pay you back. I see a tiny bottle of burning hammer in his hand. Just a little more, mimics the middle-aged fellow. Just gotta sell this. Heard enough of that out of you. Yeah, the younger guy sneers. We ain't giving you any more time, so quit asking. I really just need a little longer this time. Please, you gotta believe me. That is so conspicuous. From the looks of things, Mr. Yanagishita is dealing with some loan sharks. Seems obvious that this term refers to toothy predators of the deep. The word shark in this case actually has its origins in an older Germanic word meaning parasite, or someone who preys on others. Same word gave rise to terms pool shark and card shark. In the case of loan sharks, though, the initial mental image seems quite appropriate. Two thugs are clearly in no mood for his continued groveling. Cherry and I exchange a glance. It's probably best if we don't go out there right now. But now I'm really worried. Am I actually going to get paid for this gig? As I ponder that, one of the men grabs Yanagishita by the nape of his neck and drags him to his feet. Ugh, poor guy. Come with us, pal. We'll take you someplace you can work off your debts. Say what? Mr. Yanagishita wails. Two men drag him away. Rest in peace. Guess he's gone then, Cherry says. Laura started to pack up her things. Wait, what are you doing? Going home. Not much point in sticking around. Going home? Yeah, I mean, the demo sure ain't happening now. Anyway, it was nice working with you. See ya. Moments later, Cherry is out the door. Cherry... Man. Now what do I do? I'm left here all by myself, more or less, at a total loss. Bad end. Shift's over. Poor feline friend isn't gonna get paid now that those debt collectors showed up and dragged her boss away. Certain someone hadn't told the thugs how to get to Nokane building, they probably wouldn't have caught Yanagishita. The right decision happens at 11:15, but who has to make it? Okay. I think I might just play... Whenever I start a new hour with everyone, I might just play this, everyone's first event for the hour then. So we got Tama. Now we have Osawa, who I think might be the father of Hitomi and Maria. God, I'm doing a lot of talking. I guess I should have expected it from a visual novel though. I was actually kind of expecting this game to have voice acting, but it doesn't. It just doesn't. Osawa Dude, what's up with you, man? You do look like a dad. You do look a bit like a dad. Well, status, honor. None of these things mean anything to me. All I want is a peaceful life. Put worry behind me. I think we all do, man. Stay calm and serene. Be free of worldly concerns. Free, at any cost. Oh, am I gonna get DMCA for it? I really hope not. I really hope not. I really hope not. I'm gonna just talk over it just in case. Just in case. A cheery rhythm pumped from the CD player I set up against the study wall. It was the latest hit from Aya Kamiki, the songwriter sensation who is blowing up the pop charts. Don't make it louder. Kenji Osawa reached for the stereo remote on his desktop. He ratcheted the volume up a little louder. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. I really hope this isn't like a copyrighted song or anything. Man, he looked like the sort of man who'd be more interested in classical music, but the fact that he was a huge fan of girls rock popular with middle schoolers. Closing his eyes, he swayed back and forth in time with the music, humming his favorite lyrics under his breath. But his movements faltered. It's no use. Aya's voice usually soothed him whatever ailed him, but today even she couldn't help. Thank you. Today, Osawa was a complete wreck, in both body and mind. A virus? Oh, okay, see. A virus? I guess he's like a doctor or something? Mounds of paperwork were scattered across the desktop in his study. All of it about viruses and vaccines. It had only been a week since he returned from a business trip to his company's branch office in the US, and he was slated to go back in another week's time. There was a truly staggering amount of work he needed to get through while he was at home. Picked up one of the papers, glanced at it aimlessly, and tossed it back onto the desk. Something back in his chair, he let out a long, deep sigh. He has no mental state to work right now. Faint knock at the door barely roused him from his torpor. Director, may I come in? Director. His vice director, Mamoru Tanaka. Sure, the door's open. Tanaka came into the study. I know it's not a great time, but... Osawa could barely make out his words. He tapped the remote, lowering the volume of the music. Tanaka continued apologetically. A call came in from the lab. They're hoping for a response to the email they sent yesterday. I'm sure they don't need it today. Apparently they do need an answer as soon as possible, sir. Did ask them to give you some more time, but... I see. Osawa wearily. Alright then. Tanaka dipped his head slightly and slipped out of the room. Osawa contemplated his colleague. Tanaka was a man he could truly depend on. He has enough of his own work to do. He didn't need to come here again today, but he did. He'd been working in close contact ever since Osawa had gotten back to Japan. Without Tanaka's support, there was no way he would be in a mindset to do any work at all right now. Sliding up to his computer, Osawa opened his email program and started answering the work-related messages. He reported on his business travel expenses, offered his opinion on capital investments, requested confirmation on current medicinal stockpiles. He worked with bleak detachment. None of this meant anything to him right now. Then a new email appeared in his inbox. From Furika. Furika? I don't know. Sender was identified simply as A. Oh, Africa. Okay. The subject line read, 1 year ago, South Africa. The message body was blank, but there appeared to be multiple images attached. Ordinarily, Osawa would have deleted a message like this immediately, assuming that it contained some kind of virus. But the word South Africa drew his attention. Could this possibly be related to... He couldn't help but wonder. For a long moment, he hovered over the cursor over one of the image files. As if spurred on by the upbeat rhythm in his ears, he double-clicked the mouse. I'm scared. What is this? The grainy photograph showed a large room with a dozen or so people laid out in beds. Appeared to be some sort of medical ward. Sawa felt a strange flutter in his chest. Is someone trying to blackmail him? Quickly opened another image. I don't like that. This one showed the close-up of one of the patients in his bed. Large red blotches covered his face. A large volume of blood appeared to be dripping from his ears and nostrils. Cold shudder ran up Osawa's spine. What the hell? I don't like that. These symptoms. Osawa opened up the remaining image files. Each new picture showed another of the patients. They all appeared to be teetering on the brink of death. There's no doubt about it. These people were infected with the UA virus. I don't know if it's UA or UA or UA. Wow. The UA virus belongs to the family Filoviridae, genus Eulicavirus. It is a member of the same family as the Ebola virus and causes UA virus fulminant hemorrhagic fever. Is capable of airborne transmission, although an infected individual cannot pass the infection. Not pass on the infection before. Wait. An infected individual cannot pass the infection before symptoms manifest. U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have assigned the virus to risk group 4 to the classification for most dangerous infectious agents. I'm assuming this isn't a real virus. But how? Questions tumbled through Osawa's mind. His fingers tapped out a quick message. He doubted he'd get a response, but he might as well try. Who are you? Where are these images from? Flower. UA virus got its name from a Swahili word for flower. The virus is roughly 90 nanometers to 110 nanometers in diameter and 500 nanometers to 700 nanometers long. Because it's pronounced sickle-like shape, it is sometimes known as the sickle of death. It possesses a viral envelope, the surface of which is coated with spike-shaped proteins, protuberances. Supposedly, this was based on the fact that the propagated form of the virus resembled the petals of a flower. Despite the flowery name, however, the disease was anything but pretty. Ua didn't just mean flower, it also meant to kill. And as the name suggested, the virus had a mortality rate of 100% in those who it managed to infect. Because most details regarding the Ua virus have been suppressed, cases of Ua infection are largely unknown to the world at large. Because all patients are known to be infected with the virus on official record have died within a short time frame, a mortality rate has been given 100%. As incidence of known cases grows, the number may drop below 100%, but the mortality rate will likely remain extraordinarily high. Okay? I need to crack my neck. Moreover, there is a very short incubation period between infection and the onset of symptoms and death. Inhaled viral particles can spread from the lungs to the lymph nodes, and from there disperse throughout the body. The virus propagates in several places, including liver cells and macrophages. A component of the immune system enjoys endothelial cells within blood vessels. I'm really glad that I watched Cells at Work before playing this game. Upon reaching the brain, it forms a neural sludge of blood mixed with other bodily fluids. Yikes, okay. Within roughly 12 hours, bleeding would set in throughout the body, everywhere but the bones and muscles, with lethal results. So this game is gonna... So there's gonna be 12 hours in this game. Someone's gonna have this... Someone is going to have this, virus. Due to its incredibly high mortality rate, the disease's very existence has been kept hidden from public knowledge. Ugh. Osawa's computer chimed to signify the arrival of a new email. Sender was A. Hurried to open the message. Once again, the subject line read, 1 year ago, South Africa. Or, your crimes. Sao stared at those two words. My crimes. It left him with only further questions. He looked again at the images from the previous email. What makes any of this my crimes? He could see that the patient's bleeding was severe. He estimated that several hours had passed since the onset of the disease. It wouldn't be long before their lives were cut short. To feel the agony, that suffering, and then to perish. Am I to blame for that? Then a faint knock came to the door. Darling, you have a moment? It was his wife, Ai. Make sure you close the mail program. Give me a second. Saw hurriedly closed the mail program, even though this was nothing more than some sick prank. It wasn't anything he wanted his family to see. Especially not I. Alright, come in. Ooh. You look kinda evil. Sawa turned to see that I had already let herself into the study. The sharp sting of her perfume made him scrunch up his face for a moment. Have you reconsidered the whole America thing? She asked. This again, Osawa thought suddenly to himself. Please, he said. We not discuss this right now? Not now, then when? You know, this isn't a decision to make on your own. On his latest business trip, a major American pharmaceutical firm had attempted to headhunt him, asking him to join them and be among the top researchers in the world. The money and prestige held no interest for him, and he was reluctant to turn his back on Okoshi Pharmaceutical after his many years of service. Pharmaceutical company for which Kenji Osawa works is a major corporation with solid sales network both domestically and internationally, and an annual turnover of 1 trillion yen. It holds patents for several medications that are in demand worldwide, influential at the Ministry of Health, Labor, Welfare, and other political institutions. The company employs roughly 7,000 people, including 600 researchers. Nonetheless, he was intrigued by the offer. It would mean the chance to conduct his virus research in a much better funded environment. Taking the job would necessitate relocating to the US, however. When he mentioned the possibility of emigrating to Ai, she shut the idea down on the spot. Her opposition was understandable. Ai's father, Suguro Makino, was a member of Okoshi Pharmaceuticals' board of directors. No way he was gonna let Osawa jump ship to another company. Darling, she looks pissed off. Please. I drew in closer to him. Think about it from my perspective. You leave for America, what am I supposed to tell my father? Gotten so used to it, that grating whine of hers. Oof. You considered what might happen to Okoshi if you leave, my dear? We can discuss that once all this is finished. Sawa kept his voice level as he could. Do remember that you're a director, right? I said. You have responsibilities. Stop thinking about yourself so much. Man. Sour look, I turned and departed. Just looks so troubled. This poor guy. Well, he had known that moving to America would never be a simple matter, regardless of what his wife thought about it. There's another reason, however. The antiviral agent that he had developed at Okoshi. Therapeutic drug used to treat viral infections. Examples include drugs used against influenza and HIV. These treatments do not... Okay, music. These treatments do not eliminate the infection, rather they simply inhibit the development of the disease. There are still many issues with such drugs, including the risk that treated viruses possess or develop a resistance that makes the treatment ineffective. Academic institutions and pharmaceutical companies worldwide devote tremendous resources to further advancing the field of antiviral medicine. After the Ua virus was discovered, infectious disease research facilities worldwide had thrown themselves into a top-secret effort to develop a vaccine. Vaccines function by safely introducing a harmless or attenuated version of a virus or other pathogen into the human body, which triggers the body to produce antibodies against the pathogen, making it difficult for the dangerous version to take hold. But Makino had ordered Osawa to work on creating an antiviral agent, not a vaccine. The vaccine immunized the subject in order to prevent infection in the first place. Conversely, an antiviral agent could be used to treat patients already infected. It was a so-called wonder drug for combating the virus itself. Creating such a drug was far easier said than done. Developing the antiviral had been a long, arduous road. Only after years of research had Osawa's team succeeded in identifying a substance that might qualify as an antiviral agent for Ua. Maybe they tested the antiviral on the people in South Africa, and it turned out it wasn't inert. It didn't help. It made things worse for some reason. In theory, if it was administered during the virus's initial stages, 100% recovery could be attained. Data also suggested an 80% survival rate for patients treated shortly after the onset of symptoms. But there was a fatal flaw with the new antiviral agent. Side effects on the body were unusually potent. If it was administered in amounts beyond a certain threshold, it was linked to life-threatening complications, I think. For a time, the research was at an impasse. It seemed that the drug had to be administered in high volume to combat the explosive propagation of the Ua virus. But then Osawa had received some fortuitous news. Okushi Pharmaceuticals' nanotechnology branch has engineered a cutting-edge device known as the DDS. Okay. Operating on an extremely small scale, often measured in nanometers. Some literally regulated on the atomic level. The United States is among the world leaders in the push for research and development. Okay. DDS, acronym for Drug Delivery System. Such a system administers ultra-microscopic drug capsules to a targeted area of the body. So I had jumped on it immediately. By administering his antiviral agent with the nanotech DDS, he was able to use smaller amounts of the drug to quash the Ua virus with precision. Oh, there's actually a video. Because DDS can be used to deliver a drug with pinpoint precision, and only where it's needed, it can greatly reduce the side effects of even very important drugs. The DDS developed by Okushi Pharmaceutical utilizes advanced high-tech polymers, which ensure that the capsules containing the drug are fully broken down and eliminated from the body roughly 1 week after administration. Okay. See this video. Okay. Simple. The procedure was a huge success. There's a marked increase in the drug's efficacy, along with the expected decrease in adverse side effects. Pharmaceutical is said to have a positive effect if use brings about the desired results when treating a medical condition, but many drugs created unwanted or unforeseen adverse effects as well. Given the extreme complexity of most drugs' interactions with the human body, nearly any medicine could have both positive and negative effects. These effects have been confirmed via animal testing on monkeys. Man, just leave them alone. Okay. I guess it's fine though. Integrator, gotta maybe, I don't know. And now the antiviral was ready for the final development stages, clinical trials on humans. Experiments involving drugs or other medical techniques tested on animals to confirm their safety before they are used on humans. The 1964 Declaration of Helsinki, which lays out ethical standards for human experimentation, advocates responsible animal testing, but many animal rights advocates regard such testing as a form of animal cruelty. Clinical trials. When a new drug is being prepared for government approval, after it's been tested on animals, it must pass tests on humans, clinical trials that evaluate its safety and suitability. Excuse me. Such tests are frequently conducted on both patients and healthy individuals. In Japan, the development of new drugs is often hindered by insufficient legal infrastructure for conducting clinical trials, resulting in smaller knowledge base and fewer opportunities for testing. Talking a lot. Okay. The very existence of this new wonder drug was still a secret. No doubt Okushi's leadership would be reluctant to see Osawa, the drug's lead researcher, transferred to another company. Still, it wasn't completely outside the realm of possibility. Once the antiviral was out of development and now so public, Osawa would be free and clear. For that reason, he was loath to cause any friction over the drug right now. His anxiety only magnified his concern about the email he'd just received. Osawa called up Tanaka over the intercom. "There's something I want to show you. Could you come in here? I need a second opinion and Tanaka could be relied upon." Osawa opened the door the moment Tanaka knocked. He looked around before ushering his vice director inside. "What's this about, sir?" "This." Osawa showed him one of the images. Tanaka's face went pale. "Can't be." Tanaka clearly recognized the symptoms of the UA virus. "Any idea what this is about?" Osawa asked. "No, sir. These images were just emailed to me. The subject line says 1 year ago, South Africa. I would put it around the same time the most recent run of infections, wouldn't it, sir? But that information isn't." Tanaka trailed off. Osawa nodded. "The thing I don't understand is why these pictures were sent to me." Osawa opened the other email from A. "The second message I got said that these pictures are my crimes. I'll look into this on my end, sir," Tanaka said. He hesitated uncomfortably. "Sir, just want to make sure Are you asking about what I think you're asking about?" Osawa said. Tanaka gave a slight nod. "Understood. Don't worry, I won't trouble you." "I appreciate that, sir." Visibly relieved, Tanaka left the study. UA virus. Osawa brought up a folder marked UA virus on his screen. Then the folder were enlarged images of the virus itself. He double-clicked one of the images. It blew up on the monitor to reveal the pathogen in intricate detail. I don't like that eyes. The specimen of the UA virus was approximately 100 nanometers in diameter. 10,000 of them in a line would take up barely a millimeter. But a single tiny variant, upon entering the human body, could become 2,000 in an hour. The speed of multiplication was nothing short of astonishing. Even the Ebola virus had a typical incubation period of 7 days or so before the infectees developed symptoms. Virus of the family Filoviridae that causes Ebola hemorrhagic fever. Currently 5 characterized species are known: Typhora, Sudan, Western Zaire, and Bundibugyo. Ebola is widely known for its high mortality rate. 53% for the Sudan form, 88% for the Zaire. But the Western variety discovered in monkeys that have been brought into the US has displayed no pathogenicity in humans. For influenza, it was 1 or 2. But the onset of UA virus happened in a mere 12 hours. Osawa viewed the image slideshow of the virus's propagation mechanism as a fascinating sight no matter how many times he looked at it. Viruses existed to multiply, nothing more. They had no motives, no driving logic, nothing but simple multiplication. To Osawa, that fact held a certain air of mystery. If virus had emotions, how would they think? How would they feel about their lives? He'd thrown himself into virus research in search of answers to questions like that. Answers that no man could truly know. His development of the antiviral agent had really been nothing more than another job responsibility. He felt no particular sense of duty to protect people from a killer virus. He was just happy for the chance to play around with Ua day after. I feel like there's gonna be like an ending where you basically become the mad scientist who releases the deadly virus into the public and kills everyone. Causes the apocalypse, basically. Another guy. Another email arrived in his inbox. The sender, A. Subject line, 1 year ago, South Africa, again. Sarah read the message. Do not look away, these are your crimes. That's freaky. This time there are 4 images attached. Osawa proceeded to open each of them in turn. I'm scared. The first shocked Osawa so much that he felt like he'd been punched in the head. One of the Ua patients from earlier images was being injected with something. Ooh, no. Osawa muttered to himself. It can't be. The second image showed one of the infected hunched over in pain, vomiting up blood. Was it like an illegal test? An illegal clinical trial in South Africa or something? Symptoms have already manifested, but Osawa thought he could see that some degree of light had come back into the patient's eyes. He rushed to open the third image. It showed a morgue piled high with corpses. The rictus of anguish on the dead faces made them look no longer human. Various fluids seeped from the eyes and nostrils. The lymph nodes were grotesquely swollen. Their hospital beds stained with massive amounts of blood and gastric fluids. Small organs that function as part of the lymphatic system in mammals. Lymph nodes detected, prompting the production of white blood cells such as lymphocytes and macrophages to consume the invader. Viral infection sometimes causes the lymph nodes to swell up as a result of increased activity. Next came the fourth and final image. I'm scared. I don't want to look at it. I'm scared. More corpses. They had badges affixed to her chest with various labels. 6 hours passed, 12 hours passed, and 18 hours passed. Totally an illegal clinical trial. It looked as if someone had been attempting live trials with the antiviral agent. Osawa didn't consider the antiviral agent ready for release, but that was because his team hadn't conducted clinical trials on humans yet. And there was a good reason why such trials hadn't been conducted. There was no way to test the efficacy of the drug without an affected patient. To run a proper clinical test, someone would first need to be infected with the Ua virus. No matter how effective animal testing had been, if the drug proved ineffective on humans, that person wouldn't have a guaranteed death sentence. It is unthinkable to run trials that involve such a deadly risk. And yet, as he looked over the images again and again, Osawa became certain, without his knowledge, someone, presumably someone from Okoshi Pharmaceutical, had conducted human testing with the antiviral agent. Time the markers on the corpses in the fourth image were surely there to mark the time elapsed since the onset of symptoms. Thorough trial would test the drug's effectiveness in those time frames. Osawa slammed his fist on the desk, enraged. This was nothing short of vile human experimentation in the guise of clinical testing. People responsible could not be allowed to get away with this. There was only one person Osawa could trust to keep this under wraps, his boss, Makino. It's gonna turn out it was him all along. He reached for his phone to call Makino, but he stopped short as soon as he picked up the receiver. He knew he was in no state of mind to have a calm, reasoned conversation right now. Turning on the CD player, he put on Aya Kamiki's latest album. Leaning back in his chair, he surrendered himself to her soothing tones. Bit by bit, he could feel himself returning to a calmer emotional state. There had been a time when Osawa hadn't listened to music at all. In fact, he had no interest in arts in general. Music, painting, cinema. It was only due to a simple coincidence that he found Aya Kamiki. His daughter had asked for a CD as a birthday present, so he swung by the store to pick one up. Since Kamiki's new album had just come out, there was a display for it in the front of the shop. Something about the bright, colorful album packaging had drawn him in. After a time, Sawa could feel himself growing calmer. He took a nice deep breath. Then he dialed up Makino. Has there been any progress? Makino asked as soon as he picked up. His voice was somber. No, nothing much yet. A tiny sigh came from the other end of the line. I see. Then what can I do for you? Sir, I'll just get right to the point. Have you conducted clinical trials using the antiviral drug? Makino didn't respond right away. What makes you think that? He asked at last. Sawa described the emails he'd received. Uh-oh, something is going to happen here. When he'd finished, Makino let out his breath in surprise. Not over the phone, he said. We'll discuss this in person. I'll head over to your place when I'm done here. As soon as possible, sir. As soon as I can manage, Makino said. You're not the only person who's busy. That Makino hung up. There was no doubt about it, then. There had been human testing. Sawa went to let Tanaka know that he'd be meeting with Makino. That is threatening. That's kind of that is terrifying for some reason. Menacing. A stolid-looking man stood in the hallway, almost as if he'd been waiting for Osawa to emerge. Pardon me, Mr. Osawa, but could you come with me for a moment? The detectives assembled in the living room. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, he is Maria and Hitomi's dad, I think. Detectives assembled in the living room all wore grave expressions. The room was brimming with tension, and Osawa felt it ramp up even further as he entered. What is it? He asked. Has something happened? The man who had come to find him turned to speak, hesitating at first. Yes, it turns out that your other daughter, Hitomi, has been abducted by an unknown party. Abducted? Osawa's mind whirled. What are you talking about? Maria's the one who's been abducted. No, sir, you don't understand. I'm saying that Hitomi has also been abducted in addition to Maria. Don't be ridiculous. The night before, his daughter Maria gets kidnapped, and this morning, his other daughter Hitomi gets carried off when she goes to deliver the ransom? He never heard anything more outrageous in his life. Sorry, sir. A detective was with her, but... The police went on to explain that Hitomi had somehow managed to end up all by herself, and while she was alone, several individuals had forced her into a car and driven off. Osaka could barely comprehend what they were saying. His mind was in a fog. Detective... Oh, he's about to have a heart attack, I feel like. Detective's words seemed to grow quieter and quieter. Sawa's strength drained from his body. His ability to process external stimuli began to drift far, far away. It's not possible. It can't be. Could no one keep them safe? Not me? Not anyone? My girls, Hitomi, Maria. It's not true. This is all just a bad dream. Some kind of sick joke. It's not true that it's a... he's about to have a heart attack. Slowly, the ceiling began to spin, and Osawa's vision went awash with white. Bad end. The worst case scenario. Osawa had a complete mental breakdown when he learned that not just one but both of his daughters were kidnapped. But surely there has to be someone who can keep Hitomi safe. She's been on the run with Achi, but just what were they up to? The key to changing her fate and her father's lies with Achi's decision at 11:05. Maybe one more? Let's do all of the protagonists'. We'll just do all the protagonists'. Nope, nope, not you, not you, not you. I guess I'll start Miko Norikawa's story. Frantic. And then I'll call it for today. The Super Cub 90 raced down Route 246 towards Shibuya. Motorcycle produced by Honda with a 85cc engine displacement, common sight around town, often used by newspaper and postal livery workers. Many owners are big enthusiasts, sometimes even swapping out parts such as the handlebars or mufflers and giving the body a repaint, resulting in fashionable bikes that don't even look like Super Cubs at first glance. This guy. A speedometer remained at a steady 60 kilometers per hour. Having to guess harder was no use. This was as fast as the bike would go. Minorikawa shouted as he sped along. Damn it, I'm not gonna let you die. He jerked the handlebars and flew past a truck on the inside. The driver scowled at him as he shot by. You maniac, are you trying to get yourself killed? Just the opposite, Minorikawa shouted back. I'm saving lives. Stoplight ahead turned red, cutting him off at the intersection. Come on. He had no choice but to slam on the brakes. His agitation boiled over as he waited for the signal to change again. How long is this thing going to stay red? Hurry up already. Brought the bike up to the very edge of the line, keeping the engine revved like a dragster ready to peel out. Not on time is not in my dictionary. Light turned red. Then Minorikawa's own light turned green at last. He hit the accelerator as hard as he could. His engine died with a sputter. Oh, come on, what the hell? Get off the street. Car horns blared angrily behind him. In fear, he pulled his bike over to the side of the road. What a great tone setter. Compared to Osawa's freaky-ass beginning of his story. No matter what he did, the engine refused to turn over. It's a problem with the spark plug, or maybe the battery? Whatever it was, he didn't have the time to figure it out now. With tears in his eyes, he left his bike, his companion of 10 years, abandoned on the roadside. About to break into a run when he saw a taxi dead ahead letting out a passenger. Hurried to hop into the cab. Just head for Shibuya station. I'll know exactly where once we get closer. Taxi driver nodded coolly. Of course, sir. 10 minutes! Huh? I need you to get me there in 10 minutes. Driver grimaced. I'm afraid getting there in 10 minutes is a bit. 15 then. Sir, that's still... Look, that's all the time I can afford. Assuming traffic conditions cooperate, sir, then maybe. I can't make any promises. Minorikawa looked at the driver's ID photo above the fare meter. His name was Hachiro Kimizuka. He was a middle-aged fellow, looked a little rough around the edges. Mr. Kimizuka, I chose you for this. You can do it. You chose me. Sir, I'm pretty certain that we met by chance. Okay, sure, I suppose you can phrase it that way. Can we get going? Right, Kimizuka said with a faint sigh. I'll see what I can do. Taxi pulled away at a decent clip. Backseat driving. Norikawa's frantic journey has started 20 minutes earlier. He'd been at home working on an interview piece. He clucked his tongue in annoyance as the ring phone broke his train of thought. Why did someone always call right when the words were flowing? If he didn't keep getting interrupted, he would probably wrap this piece up in no time. Be quiet! pointed at the telephone as he yelled, "I'm writing here." I was shouting to nothing to silence the ringing. Didn't have much of a choice but to pick up. Minorikawa was speaking. There's no response. Hello? He hesitated, ready to hang up. Was this a prank call? It's me. It's Toyama. It's Teruo Toyama, the president of Heaven Publishing. Publishing company that puts out both hard-hitting non-fiction books and tabloid-style scandal rags. The Invincible Journalist, penned by company president Toyama himself, was a candidate for the Japan Non-Fiction Prize. What do you want? This is about work. I'm already booked pretty full. He had taken work from Heaven Publishing on several occasions, but the pay was hardly competitive. Lately, he had been turning them down a lot, so he hadn't heard from Toyama in a while. No, this isn't work-related. What do you want? I'm kind of pressed for time here, working on some copy. Minorikawa was in no mood to beat around the bush. Seems like every conversation he had with Toyama went like this. Ah, you're busy. That's good. Busy's good when you're a freelancer. Toyama sounded unusually sympathetic. Minorikawa found it off-putting. Your salesman going good on your end, he said cautiously. But this month's 4-Star General Gossip and all. 4-Star General Gossip was a monthly magazine, Heaven's publishing flagship publication. Magazine focused on the private lives of celebrities and politicians. Most of the articles found in its pages are random nonsense, but one out of every 100 or so contains an actual major scoop, making it a difficult outlet to ignore. Had a small circulation and for the most part flew under the radar, but once in a while they'd land some big scoop and sell like crazy. This month's edition had come with a free scratch card, a gimmick that had moved 100,000 copies with ease. 5 winning symbols in a row means 100,000 yen, was it? Minorikawa asked. A weak, moist sound came through the receiver. Huh? Baffled, Minorikawa listened more closely. Him again, then again. It sounded like sobbing. Mr. Toyama, are you crying? There's another soft sob and then yet another. You okay, man? What's going on? Where are you? Minorikawa asked. At the office, Toyama managed. He let out another mewling whimper. What's the matter? It's nothing. Well, it's gotta be something. Come on, what is it? Toyama gave no reply. Sir Toyama, are you still there? Silence. What is it? What happened? Look, doesn't tell me anything. What the hell's going on? Toyama squeaked out a drawn-out whine. Okay, I'm sick of this. I'm hanging up now. Minorikawa was about to break the connection when he heard Toyama murmur. The only thing I can do now is die. Uh-oh. The taxi lurched to a sudden stop as the driver slammed on the brakes. Whoa! He wasn't wearing his seatbelt, goddammit. Dumbass. At least he was wearing a helmet. Minorikawa pitched forward, his face smacking against the back of the seat in front of him. Kamizuka stuck his head out the window. Careful, buddy, he shouted at someone in the street ahead. You're gonna get yourself killed. Oh, Kano. Minorikawa blinked the stars from his eyes and saw a man moving us alongside the cab. The guy grabbed onto the handle of the back door. Please, I need you to let me have this cab. No way, Minorikawa snapped. Just who did this guy think he was? Please, I'm begging you here. Look, I'm in a hurry, pal. Get your own cab. I know how ridiculous this must sound, but please. This is really, really urgent. Urgent? Yes, it's a matter of life or death. Please. The guy did look pretty desperate. Look, I'm sorry, but I'm dealing with something urgent here too. Then let me ride with you. I'll pay for the whole fare. My entire future's on the line here. The guy sure was persistent. Maybe he was telling the truth. But Minorikawa had problems of his own. Sorry, buddy. It's life or death on my end, too. I gotta look after me and mine. Right. So sorry to trouble you. Finally, the guy gave up and shuffled away. Also couldn't have been that much of a life-ending crisis after all. Minori checked his wristwatch. Damn it. Just cost us 5 minutes. Try to make it up, sir, the driver called back. Taxi lurched into motion, the engine quickly revving up to speed. Once inside the building, he avoided the elevator in favor of rushing up the stairs. Heaven Publishing rented out the 3rd and 4th floors. In all likelihood, Toyama would be at the editing department of 4-Star General Gossip on the 4th floor. We got there, however, the door was locked. Mr. Toyama! Hey, Mr. Toyama! He shouted and banged, but there was no reply. Oh no. Something was seriously wrong. Minori Kawa took a deep breath and kicked the door in. Whoa. Sighed as he stepped into the office, filled him with horror. It's gonna be... Yeah. Yeah. Minori Kawa clutched the sides of his head. I'm too late. Bad end? Oh no, if only I'd gotten here a little sooner. Bad end? God damn it. Just 5 minutes. I probably have to go into Kano's story and keep him from stopping the cab for 5 minutes. Minori rushed ahead of publishing as fast as he could, but didn't get there in time to save Toyama, and sad to say, it was really all Kano's fault. Why does Kano want a taxi so badly? Check his 11:10 timestamp and the situation might become clearer. God damn.